Danfo offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Let's see what we got going on. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to, where are we going? Senegal. We're rolling to Senegal. That is going to be May 9th to the 18th. May 9th to the 18th, we're rolling to Senegal. If you're interested in joining us, please visit danfo.africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit danfo.africa. That's DANFO.Africa to learn more. We are also rolling to Nigeria in August for Oshun, the Oshun Festival. Then we're going to Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue. And then we're going to do, in November, we're going to do Ghana, Ivory Coast, and then a separate trip to Sierra Leone. So if you're interested in joining us on one of our many excursions, please visit danfo.africa to learn more. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining. That's the site. And also, when you sign up for the mailing list, I'm going to personally call you, okay? I am going to personally call you when you sign up for the mailing list. You know, love to hear from you all. So you'll get a personal phone call. So yeah, let's jump into today's topic. What is we now? We was Negro. We were Black. We were African American. Now I'm hearing ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, FBA, Foundational Black American, SOULAAN, which is a new one. That's a new one. In fact, Sister Ivy came on here, I think last month. It was like her daughter considers herself to be SOULAAN. So that's a new one. Yeah, that's definitely a new one. So then there's SOULAAN. Then there's DAFA. Shout out to Brother Umar Johnson for throwing his name in the hat. Again, shout out to Umar Johnson for throwing his name in the hat. Now it's SOULAAN. I'm sorry, DAFA. DAFA stands for, I already forgot. Let me pull it up real quick. In fact, let's pull up the video with Umar Johnson explaining DAFA. Let's pull that up real quick. DAFA Umar Johnson. So this is Umar Johnson.
Of these movements we're discussing. So my movement to counter
Explaining what DAFA is. Okay, so this is Brother Umar Johnson right here explaining DAFA.
Movement. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement.
DAFA.
DAFA, Descendants of African Freedmen in America. Remember, Loom, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen. So we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement. DAFA, Descendants of African Freedmen in America. Remember, Loom, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen. So we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America.
Let me ask you, how many of you guys are offended by the term American? How many of y'all are offended? How many of you guys are offended? If you're black in America, how many of you are offended by being called American? That's the question. How many of you are offended by the term American, being called American? If you are an African American, how many of you guys are offended? Yeah, I'm not. I don't get it. Why be offended? Like, why be offended? But which one, if you guys had to choose to delineate, and again, if you had to choose in your delineation, which one of these terms would you choose in order to delineate? Which one of these terms would you choose in order to delineate? That's the question. Is it ADOS? Is it FBA? Is it SOULAAN or DAFA? Or are you just okay with being a blackity black American? I'm fine with black American. I'm fine with African American. But I kind of like DAFA. I kind of like DAFA. I'll take DAFA. I'll take DAFA. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like DAFA. But guys, links to the chat room. If you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. If you want to add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call to add to the conversation. Yeah, links in the chat room. But yeah, tell me which one you guys want to be called. All right, listen, you might have a new one. You might have a new name you want to be called. Big Vovo, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me, Donnie?
Loud and clear. Yo, you was on your Getro yesterday, your Obama phone.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my other phone. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. That's crazy though. But you know where I'm at with it. I prefer the term FBA. Black American should be good enough. You know what I mean? African American really should have been good enough. You know what I mean? But we to deny that we're not in this time where people want to cosplay as us. You know what I mean? People want to be us when it's convenient. You know, so we kind of got to play the word game. That's just what it is. Unfortunately, we're the only ones on the planet that's in this position. If I say I'm an African American, well, French Montana can say he's an African American. He's an Arab.
Can he really?
Can he not say that though?
I think French would say he's a Moroccan American before he says African American.
He runs around calling himself the N-word, honest. He's got braids and his Arab with braids. Never seen it. It's the most silliest shit ever.
I mean, but Vovo, a lot of folk, non-black folks run around calling themselves the N-word now.
No, what I'm saying is that we got a history and a culture with it. These guys are just cosplaying us. We're in a position to where people are arguing with us about our heritage. It's the crazy shit. So we got to bring clarity. You know what I mean? Now, you know, that should have really been good enough, but he's an African American. Technically, he's an African American, and you can't deny him that. Nobody can. You know what I mean? Even though we all in the back of our mind know what it means and who we're talking about, but he would be technically an African American. Black American. Anybody that comes to this country that's so-called dark skinned can say, well, I'm black and I'm an American. I'm in America. Well, therefore I'm a Black American. You know, and they would be technically right. A Jamaican would be a Black American. Somebody from a Somalian or an Ethiopian, he's a Black American technically. So that's become a misnomer because people have people when they want to be us when it's convenient. All we're trying to do is bring clarity and stop erasure. But what people are doing are poking at us, and then they get a reaction from us, and they'll say, "Well, I agree with it, but I agree with the term, but see, for me, FBA, it's the way that they're doing it, the xenophobia around it. Why nobody talk about these people attacking us? Nobody mentions that. My last point is this, Donnie.
Go ahead.
This stuff that Umar doing.
Go ahead. Take your time, Bobo. Go ahead. Take your time.
Okay. This stuff that I appreciate you letting me speak. This stuff that Umar's doing, I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know. He got a new flavor every week at this point. I'm telling you, I said this before. We're gonna see Umar doing 22-1s. I'm telling you. We're gonna see Umar on dating shows and shit like that.
He's already been on a dating show.
See, it's time for Umar to get that CDL. I'm telling you. But yeah. So you know what Umar can see where the wave is at the same way you can see where the wave at, the same way that everybody else can see where the wave is at. What we're saying makes perfect sense. All we're saying is that we're a unique ethnic group. We got to make it clear. We got to use proper verbiage. And how do you know that you're an FBA? Can you show the continuity of your lineage going back to the 1870 United States Census? That's it. People want to make it other stuff because they just want to hate on it.
Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Peace.
I got a couple of questions for Vovo, and one of the questions I guess is in the form of a critique. So I'm on the outside looking in, okay, Vovo. So I'm just letting you know, I'm not FBA. I'm an immigrant, and I'm on the outside looking in. And I've been, I grew up with Black Americans, right? I came here in '71, and what I've noticed, right, is that every, I would say, 20 years, give or take, between 20 and 40, Black Americans go through this, identity change. And my question to you is, what happens? Let's say you guys, right? You take on FBA. That's everybody's on the same page. That's the identity you guys got to go with. What happens 20 years from now if no reparations? Are you guys going to go through another metamorphosis? And you guys, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like these labels are like salvations. They're going to get you the stuff that you want, and when it doesn't pan out, you wind up having to change your identity, and this happens for every generation. So
could I answer the question?
Okay, hold on. And my second question.
Could I go one at a time?
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, because we'll lose the thought. At the end of the day, we really R.I.P. to Jesse Jackson. I like Jesse. I just felt like some of his rhetoric was off, but his heart, I feel as though his heart was in the right place. Jesse, we really rejected the term African American. They just started putting that stuff on there. When I was growing up, my mother and father are children of they were born in the 50s. They wouldn't in my house 3-6 Mafia would play, and then Say It Loud I'm Black and I'm Proud would play. We always claimed black. That was always what we said we were. So this isn't about reparations. Reparations is secondary. This is about stopping erasure. If I get mixed in with everybody that's dark skinned, then I lose my ancestry. I lose my heritage. Harriet Tubman becomes an Ethiopian. Martin Luther King becomes Nigerian if we don't stop the erasure.
I get your point. So my second question now is, you made a statement. You said that, immigrants, how is it that immigrants are telling you your heritage and it doesn't make any sense? Is that correct? Is that a good assessment of what you said earlier?
That's kind of, yeah, I would go, yeah.
Okay. So explain to me how for the past, I would say 10 years on the internet, you guys, specifically Black Americans, have gone after Dominicans and to browbeat them into identifying with the term black.
That's not true. Godfrey is the one that made that joke. Godfrey is a Nigerian.
Yeah,
we don't. I don't.
Mental.
No. We never. The grassroots don't care nothing about no.
You're not being honest. You're not being honest.
I am being honest. I just told you how it happened. Godfrey is a Dominican.
No, I'm not saying.
It's a Nigerian.
Okay, sir. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying that it didn't originate with him. He's one individual person. But what I'm saying to you is the hundreds and thousands of Black Americans that would just go after relentlessly on the internet.
I don't know them, brother. I'm an FBA, brother. We don't want to share our heritage with nobody, especially not no fucking Dominicans, bro. What are you talking about?
So you're saying that never happened.
I don't know what algorithm you in, brother, but I'm talking about the people that I've been on camera, brother. I've been on camera. You ain't never heard me and the people that I'm associated with say nothing about no Dominicans is black. I do not view them as. I don't even view Africans as black. You say you were immigrant. I don't even view you as black.
And this is called.
Hey, guy. Let me pass the mic. It's Africa's turn. Ben, are you done, Ben? Ben, are you done?
Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead, Africa.
Yeah. Good evening, Dynasty, and everyone. CD, and the panel. Yeah, Dynasty, Sierra Leone issue is still going, but I think it calmed down a little bit now.
One second. Let me bring Willie on. Hey, Willie, until you pay your $10
right now, relax.
You got to pay your $10 tariff. Pay your $10 tariff. Pay what you
right
owe.
now.
Pay what you owe. All right, go ahead, Africa.
Yeah. It's calmed down a little bit now. Obviously, they got some diplomat that went over there, and they're sorting it out. Hopefully, it's sorted once and for all. But I'm not really optimistic, to be honest, the way Guinea is moving. But yeah, back to the topic. So Volvo, I noticed you have a lot of energy about separation, okay? And I don't have any problem, as I said yesterday, which you want to identify yourself as FBA or African American. I actually did brought my own term, which I think is, it kind of match you possibly than anybody else, because you want to be Red Indian, you want to be a native, you want to be Black African American, and someone of the continent of America who's been there years ago from the continent of Africa. Okay, that you basically, what you're trying to do, you're trying to separate yourself from the continental Africans, which I understand. If you want to do that for legal reason, I can understand that. But what are you going to gain from doing that? That's a question to you, Bobo. Just a short
I
one.
never claimed to be a red. I never claimed to be a red Indian. That's one thing. This is about stopping erasure. I keep saying the same thing, right? If we allow ourselves to be grouped in with everybody that just show up on these shores that's dark skinned, then we become erased. You know what I mean?
Right.
Martin Luther King becomes a South African. You know what I mean? Our story becomes, hold on, brother. Our story becomes erased. So the number one thing about delineation is to separate and show our unique lineage, our unique tradition, our unique culture. We worked hard on this shit, y'all. We can't give this shit away because you show up dark skin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Willie is due, so I don't have to send the goons to come get you. So
I'm even. So if I get a moment, right? Like the
hold on, Willie.
I haven't finished. I just asked him a
crash
question.
out. Like
Willie, it's not your turn.
Because you cut me off yesterday. That's why I said the bad.
Willie, it's not your turn, bro.
Give me a second when you do. Go ahead.
Of course.
Okay.
I'll go after.
No, I understand, FBA, African Americans and so on. I think, you need to have your own political agenda from African migrants. I totally agree with you. And I think, the sooner you can do that, the better. And, in the US, we've seen what Obama did. His agenda, like, for example, Obama, his mindset is not the same as African American, if you ask me. If you look at the current politician that we have in the UK, who are majority Africans, they're not the same mindset as the Black Caribbeans, that been here longer, because they face racism. They was here just after the war. They helped rebuild the UK, from the scratch during the Second World War, and they feel like they belong. Okay, and then obviously they integrated. They tried so hard to integrate, but unfortunately, they wasn't integrated as they wanted to be. Yeah, so the system did not allow them to achieve their potential. What I'm trying to say is, if you do not basically get this thing right, you not only you're gonna create problem within the Black community, who are the African diaspora, but then obviously you're gonna have issue with the white people who you are trying to align with, not in terms of agenda, but you're trying to work with them for you to get you right. And also, you cannot just listen. Right in the world that we live in, it's not given based on identity politics only. It's based on strategy, okay? And if you're just going to be like a group, like a fringe, that's what we call in the UK a fringe. You need to have a strategy to work on. Instead of just having to call yourself FBA and so on, and actually argue with Africans and on the internet, or also African, and also African people are actually trying to minimize you and minimize your hard work that you actually put in the UK, in the US. Because we know that you don't have the same mindset, and if you put African politicians in America like Obama, he will never understand what African Americans been through, what they're going through, what they want. Just like in the UK, we have Black politicians here. They don't understand what the Black Caribbeans or the Black people that been here, long time ago understand. They will just side with the whites.
But
Willie, you're gonna have to wait.
Willie, it's not your turn, Willie.
I got next though, right?
No, you drunk, bro. After you got 30 seconds in the city's turn.
Yeah, so just be strategic with this FBA thing and make it work, and bring the other Black people with you. That's all I got to say for now. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, go ahead, CD.
Hey, Dennis. Hey, Africa. How you doing?
Yes, my big brother. Thank you.
Good, man. Thank God. So my thought on this thing, right? So if FBA stands out to be a separate group, and because most of the time when you apply for a job, they have Black American and Black, right? So there's no separation on the application. So if FBA show up on the application say FBA/black, I think that's what I say. It will be advantageous to Africans. African will be more likely to be hired for job than African American. So, and it's illegal to ask someone whether you were born here or you came in this country. White folks, which of course they are the almost 99.9%, the employers will not ask you that, right? So when they group everybody together, I think it's advantageous to African American. But when you separate it, African will gain a lot. They will gain more power in terms of employment. So I'm not sure what FBA end goal is, but even when it comes down to reparation, there are Africans here that have African American mother or African father, or some of them have African American father, they have African American, they have African mother. So when reparation come, how are you going to group these people? Or definitely they have to get shared, right? For me, this is not what I want. People that I was not born here, but people that were born from African American parents, one of their parents are African and one of their parents are African American. Yeah, obviously they're supposed to get reparation, right? Provided if they're going to get one, because Trump right now he's saying that white men being treated badly, they deserve to get reparation. So I'm not sure how you going to distribute that money or the asset that is going to be given, right? And in some home too, you will see some African Americans home. Some are very, very professional. Some are very, very successful. What some of them in our family tend to be more ghetto or they are pukirere. So how that family gonna distribute that asset? People it's gonna be a lot of crisis in the black communities. People will kill each other for that money, even though it's not going to be that much different. It's not going to make any difference in people's life, right? So let us say, for example, in a family, someone have a business mindset. Okay, if they give the money to this family, he want the money to be invested in some way. Whereas so other people in the family that have no business knowledge, how they going to treat that share? So it's going to bring some crisis in the family. So at the end of the day, I know FBA, most of the FBA doing it for reparation because they don't want African to get share. So I'm not sure what your end goal is. You, Vovo, you live in Cleveland, right? You in Cleveland, right? So if they give your family share, how you going to treat that? How you going to share your money, you guys? So that's the part that is a little bit confusing, and I'm not even sure if they're going to give reparation. Probably it's going to depend on the
Look,
state
can I
level,
answer you?
state
Can
by
I
state.
answer?
Yeah,
Can I
sure.
answer
All
him?
right, it's Bobo. You got 30 seconds to answer. I got to pass the mic to the man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought he was answering me a question. Now, I mean, if it was just a statement, then we
Well,
can go ahead.
I'm saying you got 30 seconds to answer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. At the end of the day, I don't know why everybody's keep harping on money and reparations. I just explained to y'all this is reparations is secondary. Erasure is first, and whatever we decide to do with the money, that's our business. That's not really none of your concern. Like if I want to go to if I take a whole reparation check and take it downtown to Jack's Casino in Cleveland, Ohio, and I put it all on black, and it roll red, that's my business. Whatever I decide to do with my money is my business.
And Bobo, I agree. Go the man in the high castle. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. It's a good program tonight. Everybody hit the like button, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like button and share and subscribe. Thank you. Go
Let
ahead.
me see those USA flags in the chat. Proud Americans is the man in the high castle. And all I gotta say, Tethers, all it is survivor's remorse. You don't like the fact that you fled your countries, your homelands, and you're dealing with that burden. Don't be guilt tripping me. Don't be guilt tripping the rest of foundational Black Americans who are self-aware and proactive in these days and times, getting y'all out the paint. You see what we did with the Democratic Party? Oh yeah. You see how the dominant society already acknowledges us. What you gonna do when FBA versus everybody and achieves exactly what we do? You're gonna start crying about what y'all gonna do with that reparations. And if we fuck up all that reparation money into the economy, you think the economy is gonna fail? No, it's gonna be successful. Y'all tripping. Get over it. It's not yours. Go fight for your own. Why are you scared to boss up on your own government?
That's real. All right, Showtime, Dennis.
No, man. You got Shad, you got Pharaoh, then you got Invisible Man,
Golly, I gotta go last.
I mean, it's what it is. That's the
Come on,
order.
Dennis.
Go ahead, Shad.
No, it's torture, Will. I know it. So it is probably if 5,000 people who are calling themselves FBA. Let's just say 10,000.
Thank you,
That's
brother.
not even 1% of 50 million, 45, 50 million African
And it
Americans.
will never include me.
Okay, sir. Okay. Can you let me do this? Let me
I
do this. I got it.
appreciate you. All right, good.
So Umar Johnson made a comment. I mean, made a observation. He said
I
that
see you, Brittany.
from 1619 to independence to 1776, we were a British colony, and the British were responsible for our condition and what we went through from those time periods. It wasn't until officially we became a country in, I guess, 1776 until 1865. That would be the United States. So he made that division in terms of saying reparations for African Americans. Would the first part of it would be the British. So the UK would be responsible for paying our reparations, as well Jamaica and whatever British colonies, right? Including Ghana's asking for reparations. So keep that in mind. That was an interesting observation. I thought isn't very interesting. As far as Pookie and Ray Ray getting their money and messing their money up, and some Pookie and Ray Rays, they selling dope on a corner. Well, that's old. They don't sell weed and dope on a corner no more. But those young brothers used to know business, could do business, how to count. They could do all kinds of things that if they had the opportunity, they would do better. They could do other types of business, and some did engage in that. So every Pookie and Ray Ray is not going to mess up the money. It might be the brother or sister that goes to college that mess up the money. So that's that point. And finally, the ADOS, FBA, SOULAAN. These are very peripheral groups, and most African Americans don't know about any one of them. Boom.
All right, go ahead, Pharaoh.
Yeah, peace. Can I be heard?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Yes. I want to touch in on the subject. Yeah. Now, when it comes to these titles, FBA, okay, DAFA, which Umar Johnson said, Descendants of African Freedmen in America. Okay. Now, here's the problem. Black people, Black Americans are the only ones who have this problem of changing their name and their title and identity. Okay, you have the Greeks, they still calling themselves Greeks, Italians calling themselves Italians, okay, Chinese calling themselves Chinese, modern Egyptians calling themselves Egyptians, and these people seem to be doing better than us, okay? But it's only Black Americans who are constantly changing their name, and it's hurting us more than it's benefiting us. Okay, now when I hear this argument all the time. Okay, the
Greece is bankrupt,
community.
yo.
Yeah. Be quiet. Yeah, the Pan-African community. Okay, having this argument of who were the slaves. Okay, the Israelites saying the slaves were the Hebrews, and the Africans saying the slaves were the Africans. But when you look at the original documents, okay, the slaves, they were not called Africans. They were not called Israelites, Jews, or none of that. They were called Negroes. So it's like we sitting up here trying to get reparations and trying to ask these white people for something.
Why are you crying, Tether?
But we're not even going by the correct title. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, hot man and high cast, can you not interrupt him, please?
Yeah. So it's like we're looking real bad. Okay, because why should it be so difficult to give us reparations? When are they going to have this meeting or this big conference that's going to settle everything? Why does it have to take so long? And you need this and you need that and you need that. Why can't we just bring forth our evidence, showing who we are, showing the real history behind the slave trade, and then we get reparations. But truth be told, we all know that these white folks, they're not gonna do the right thing. I mean, you actually Donald Trump gonna be like, gonna open up his arms, be like, oh yeah, look, yeah, I want to hear what you got to say. Bring it on in, and we gonna consider giving you guys reparations. Come on, man, it's not gonna happen. I mean, yeah, but this movement, all these movements, I'm not a member of none of these movements. I feel all these movements are a joke. They're not going to get us anywhere, and they just constantly lying and making up fantasies and coming up with all these false titles and false terms, and it just is, and the world is laughing at us. They're laughing at us. We're the laughing stock of the world, the Black Americans, and that's why white supremacy is still around. And we're not going anywhere, and we're never going to go anywhere if this continues. And I'll land my plane.
All right, go ahead, Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Yo, we almost to you, Willie. We almost to Willie. Willie, when we get to you, I'm gonna let you cook, Willie. When we get to you, I'm gonna let you cook.
You say that, man. But you always cut me off. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Invisible Man.
American. I'm American. That's what I am. So I'm in the camp with Vovo. With everything he said today, I'm rolling with Vovo. To the other person who was in, I don't know, UK or something, talking about we're playing to the white man. I don't know one person in my life that is kowtowing to get some type of favor from a white man. Every person I know over here does their own thing as Black Americans, right? I am at an age where I'm older than all of you because somebody said their parents were born in the 50s. Well, I was born in the 50s. I bought that James Brown album when my family was going down south to visit family in South Carolina. And everybody knows that's where James Brown is from. I'm Black and I'm proud. So
he's from Georgia, bro.
Okay, well, he's from Georgia. I bought it. I bought that in the 70s when the album came out. All right. So I think, and then the last thing I'm going to say is all of you bench warmers, all you people that shout out when other people are talking, you guys need to calm down. And for the bench warmers in the chat, why don't you step up and say something? If you're in the chat and you're writing bullshit in the comments, step up and say something. You want to call somebody old, but I have seen all the iterations that we have gone through. I said yesterday that we're all trying to get to the same place. I personally don't believe reparations are coming our way. But I do believe it's the heritage that needs to be sustained. So I agree with the definition that ADOS has put out and that FBA has put out.
All right, go ahead, Shabaka. That is Shabaka is Willie. Go ahead, Shabaka.
Oh, Willie was here before me.
Okay. Oh, go. Okay, go ahead, Willie.
My man Shabaka. Hold on. First off, I'd like to start by saying peace and Pan-Africanism, right? Ayo, Dynasty,
Oh, Willie, hold on. We'll say, let me read this super chat real quick.
See?
My bad.
See?
Cameroon Breezy
See?
Go 903. Thank you for 499 hollow. Lobo, weirdo, ignorant hat, calls himself a Pan-Africanist on another podcast on YouTube. CD is a weirdo that would sell his brothers into slavery if he could. All right, go ahead, Willie.
All right, so I want to start by saying peace and Pan-Africanism. Thank you to my brother Shabaka, right, for allowing me to cook, because I was cut off yesterday on another American topic. So I'm going to ask, just for the time, half the time you given some of the other brothers. First thing, I want y'all to understand, I'm kicking in the backs of both FBA and certain people from the continent that have come to America. This is not a continent, this is not a conversation that's directed at the continent, right? The reality is this: I will never be a FBA, right? I am a Pan-African, right? When I look at how my people define themselves, I know my history. So if I deal with something as simple as I said yesterday, so I'm not going to go too long, AME Church, that goes back to the early 1800s, African Methodist Episcopal Church. These were my people already defining themselves, right? Let's be clear on that. So my issue with FBA is they tether to our history, African Americans, right, who know who we are, right? And again, we're not African, right? The delineation was done a long time ago. The white man wanted to finance sending us back to Africa, right? My ancestors said, no, we're going to cast our lot here. We're going to stay here, right? So my people understand who we are. People like myself, no, we're not FBA, right? And the reason I say that, when you look at the FBA flag, there are certain things that define FBA. FBA has a flag that has 3 stars, right? The first star is for the Black explorers who came to America. The Ivan Van Sertima argument, right? Now, that's where I got cut off yesterday, so I'm not going to dive into that. I'll just say it's been debunked, right? Second star is for indigenous Black Americans from America, right? Who are always here. No, I don't subscribe to that. Then they gave me the 3rd star. Yeah, the Africans that were brought over here, that little small portion. Those are my people, right? So I'll never be FBA. I know who I am. With that being said, when Umar makes some of the comments that he makes, this is an argument that will only exist in America because Black Americans aren't going no place on earth in mass to be a part of what anyone else is doing, right? So there's a portion of the FBA want that I can respect, but when it comes to the conversation of reparations, FBA does not represent the reparational argument, right? They're arguing they've been here. If that's your argument, then you should have had a casino like Mohegan Sun and all the Indians that did have the land, a certain respect for the ownership of the land that resulted in casinos and the Dawes Act in the 1800s and everything else. But I'm not going to get historic with it, right? I'm saying this. There are people who are looking at reparations more so from an argument we can win, right? One of the arguments that I'm somewhat supporting is the argument that we need to piecemeal reparations. So if we deal with something as simple as education, we know, right, the American government assisted in holding Black people back from being educated, right? Like from the threat of death and literally legal documentation like Plessy versus Ferguson, right? So if we just attack that and could document that as America saying, yeah, we wronged you, we could build on top of that. But the reality is FBA does not represent the reparations argument, and the most disrespectful thing you could do to me, right, as an African coming over here or even from the continent, is say that I'm FBA. We are not all FBA, right? We were raised to be African American. As the brother said with the numbers, FBA is simply a new club, right? So I'll end here by saying my concern is never Ogun or none of the other African brothers I respect getting reparations, right? That would never be my concern. My concern would be more with Volvo being able to qualify for reparations. Because understand, if it comes from the US government, there's going to be parameters. You may have to prove how far back your family goes. I don't have that concern. There are schools named in my family name, right? Like I know my connection is documented in America, but at the same time, I have a Bayesian great grandmother. So FBA will call me a tether, right? I'd probably qualify for reparations more than them. The reality is we are not concerned with Africans benefiting from reparations, right? The bigger concern should be Black Americans being able to tie their lineage back far enough to qualify. So no, FBA does not represent the reparations argument, right? There are other think tanks that are working on that. And yeah, please don't disrespect me by putting me as a part of a club. When I say I'm African American, it doesn't mean I'm Igbo. It doesn't mean I'm Hausa. Literally, being African American is my Fulani, right? It is my tribe. And I always criticize the African community for bringing that tribalism over here. Because
20 seconds. 20
we
seconds.
saw how y'all were operating, that
Next.
is what created the bastard baby that is FBA, right?
Drop
So
the
I'll
crack
land right there.
stem.
All right, go ahead, Shabaka.
What's up, all the brothers? My opinion on this is I have no problem with them trying to actualize self-determination, Kujichago live by defining themselves. The thing is just creating an accurate title. That would be subjective, but my contention is the pseudo history that comes behind it and the unscrupulous people that are spearheading it. The three people that the three people that have been mentioned, usually Yvette Carnell. Based upon what I've seen about her, she has some questionable dealings as far as who's funding her and how she came to be, I guess, relatively famous and recognizable. We all know about the other dude, the self-proclaimed former pimp, and then we also know about the other questionable, some will call charlatan. I don't have any direct proof that he's a charlatan, so I'm not going to make that statement against him. But his background is questionable. Anytime you have a multitude of people questioning whether they actually got proper donation and the donation and the funding where that went, when you're not direct about that, then that gives me cause to pause. But what they're doing is as far as them defining who they think they are, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that they need to focus more on the pragmatic, practical work and not really I would say the minutia in terms of arguing. If they had serious people in charge of their quote unquote movements, then I think that would be occurring. But when you look at how this formulated, I think people like CD are why these people behave in such a manner. The way he comes and disrespects just average people. He tries to purport it like most of these people are quote unquote Pookie and Ray Ray, and then he tries to say within the people's family dynamics. If you understand what happened to this group of people that are called African Americans over here, then you would know why that occurred and why this current identity crisis is occurring. When you take somebody, you strip them of their identity, you strip them of their language, you make them think that where they come from is evil and backwards, and you detest their being. You say their hair is destructive, you say their culture is destructive, you say they're dumb, you say that they're useless. This is the result that you get. You redline them, you don't give them access to education, and this is the result of that. So for y'all to come on here in contemporary times and just come on here and act like these people just came out of nowhere and have some bad behavior, it's just disingenuous, and it's really annoying. It's extremely annoying. But I'll let somebody else speak now.
Well said.
Can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
Donis, can you put me in a rotation?
So I'm speaking Volvo. So
No, I'm
the
just trying to
thing
get in a
is,
rotation. I'm not trying to cut you off. I just want to get in a rotation.
all right,
You next,
so
Bobo.
So the thing
Finish chewing
is,
your bush meat.
the whole thing is when you have any organization, right? You have to have a head for that specific organization. It should be sound-minded people. Everything that is saying makes sense, right? But when the leadership is fucked up, it reflects on the entire organization. Nobody is looking down upon African American. Probably they are the most successful blacks in the entire world. When nobody will take that from them. But when you look at someone like Tariq and look at his profile, what is his profile? This is the guy that doesn't have a regular job. He never had a regular job in his life. He left. He collect money from people here. He traveled to Senegal, right? You see him eating jollof rice and giving all the saying that this is the best jollof rice he ever had in his whole lifetime. And then he's coming here, fooling people, lying to some group of illiterate guys like Volvo, and they're giving their money to him, and he just using them, right? But you always find some ignorance that follow him that have no sense of direction. They don't even know what this guy whole motive is. But that's what Brandon said. This guy just trying to make some money. Once he reach certain amount of money, like $2, $3 million, he will run away and go hide somewhere in Africa and live his best life. And I think that's the strategy that he's playing with this guy. But you have to be mindful. Even me, sometimes I question AES. I don't go by the flow. I always want to watch up and see people can manipulate people and just have their goal achieved. We have seen it in Africa, we have seen it here, but if you don't know, you'll be carried by the flow, right? It's almost like some of the celebrities, when I see people running behind some celebrities giving their endorsement, but when you hear things that they say on the background, you'll be disappointed in yourself, right? Someone like Kanye West, every black people promoting him, putting all the way up there. But look into it, right? Someone like Diddy, seeing on the documentary of 50 Cent that when he leave Harlem and more black people, he got to take proper shower, right? But when he was going to the courthouse, there were 90% of the people that were fighting for him were black people. So I don't follow people anymore. I don't, whether it's black American, whether it's Africans, you have to always do your research and know what the motive for this person. If you don't know, you're gonna find yourself in trouble. You're gonna be used. They're gonna be use you, and you have no way to get out of that. You're gonna be frustrated with that all along. So
Was
that's
that
what
a
I can say
response
for
to
now.
my sentiments? Because I said that verbatim, that he's a dodgy character and an unscrupulous character at best. I don't understand what that didn't address anything I said. My thing with you, CD, is you, and it's not just even African Americans. You tend to have you tend to have disdain for certain groups of people. I guess based on your anecdotal experience, which I can understand that. But again, you need to work on your generalization. That's what I'm saying. Because not even the generalization, just try to have some understanding of why things are the way they are currently. But if you fail to do that and fail to care to do that, then I have to look at you with a side eye, because that just shows that you don't care ultimately. So
That's fair.
Dude, I understand your point. I understand your point, and that's a valid point. But again, for me, I don't take side. When anything negativity about Africans, I will always say, specifically when it reflects on a certain group, I don't take side at all. Right? I'm not here to back every African. If I see something that is not clean, I will talk about it. But if they say something about, that's why people always, oh, you see me talking, you say, oh, he's against Nigeria. You see me talking, you say, oh, he's against Ghanaian. I'm not
You
against
do
anybody.
crash
But
out on
when something
Nigerians.
negativity come out, I will always say it out. I will
You do
always say it.
crash out on Nigerians.
but brother, if you go back and listen to these, if
What
you go back
I
and listen
said
to
to the
these
Ghanaian, I
programs,
said the Ghanaian, when you go to Ivory Coast, the
Hey, guys,
prostitution
we got to
center
pass.
in Ghana
I got
is
to
named
pass the
after
mic to.
Ghanaians. I said
Okay,
that. I don't
let me pass
hide
the mic.
anything.
Let me pass the mic to Vovo. Go ahead, Vovo.
Chew your bush meat all the way before you talk.
Hey man,
No
you need to
bush
be
meat,
quiet.
Vovo.
Let me just say a couple things,
You're
if
even
I
wrong
could,
on
Donnie.
James Brown. He was
Donnie.
born in
Now
South
let Vovo
Carolina.
Hold on,
cook.
hold on. It's Volvo. Then I'll pass you the Visible Man.
Be
Go ahead, Volvo.
respectful, Vovo.
Go ahead, Volvo.
No,
Volvo.
I ain't about to be disrespectful. If it get like that, I'm just gonna leave. I got to stop doing that. I was told to stop doing that. You know,
You
it
getting better.
don't say nothing. Let me say this though. I just
I
hate the
noticed.
Tyreek slander.
You doing better.
Yeah, I just hate the Tyreek slander. You know, I talked to him Friday. You know what I'm saying? And this really a good dude, just an all around good dude. You know what I mean? But you know, I digress from that. You know, it just really that shit just bothered me because it's a lot of people that don't know the guy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm hearing these men from all over the world. I'm hearing y'all voices. I don't know y'all faces. I'm hearing these men from all over the world, from different walks of life, right? And we sit on this panel, right? And I notice everything. Y'all have disagreements on a lot of stuff, but one thing y'all do got in common is FBA. Y'all, every last single one of y'all that I listen to mentioned the word FBA. We have the voice. We have the wave.
Not
We
me.
got the
Not
motion.
me.
We got the motion. You did say FBA. Yes, you did. But
I don't think I mentioned FBA one time. Go ahead.
all right,
I didn't either.
all right, sir. All right. We'll go down. I get what you're looking for. I get what y'all looking for to argue. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'd rather just drop down now instead of arguing because the conversation is really moving past the troll and stuff. Y'all still having an old conversation. This is what it is. This thing is happening. Now, either you're gonna get with the wave, or y'all need to start your own wave. It shouldn't be centered around FBA. Y'all are Pan-Africanists. Y'all got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Y'all have zero motion. Zero motion. All the Pan-Africanists, even on this panel, is center themselves around what are the foundational Black Americans doing, saying, critiquing us, trolling us. Every last single one of them. I haven't yet to meet a Pan-Africanist that is just focused on the work of doing of Pan-Africanism. I haven't met it yet. It's always going to be this. It's always going to be what are the FBAs doing? At the end of the day, whether y'all like it or not, right? Everybody knows about this. I heard somebody say it's only 5,000 of us that call ourselves a FBA. So what? So everybody know what we're talking about, and everybody understand what we're saying. So that means that we have the motion, and this thing is not going anywhere. It's not going to get smaller. It's only going to get bigger. And I want to thank y'all. I'm close here. I want to thank y'all for y'all work. When y'all disperse from here, y'all are going to spread our message, intentionally or unintentionally. So I want to thank y'all for what y'all did for us.
All right, but Vovo, let me chop it up with you, right?
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on,
brother.
Willie.
I'm not ready to empty it, Willie. I'm not ready to
Y'all
empty it,
discuss
Willie.
FBA at work.
It's
Okay,
the
so-
it's a Visible Man. I'm passing the man in the high castle to you, Willie. Go ahead, Visible Man.
All right, cool.
Okay. So let me make this statement. James Brown was born in South Carolina. I am.
My bad. You're right.
All right. Okay. And so and then the other thing is I gotta ask all the Black Americans
Yes,
on the
sir.
panel. Do you have forefathers that were in what is now called the United States?
Yes.
That were in slavery?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brother, nobody would be calling themselves that if that wasn't the case.
No, I mean we answered. Good. Let the brother finish.
So this is what I'm saying.
You're not FBA, bro.
I'm not. No, I'm not that. I know. I'm
No,
not that.
you honorary tethered the way
Hey,
you talk.
Nah, it ain't. I'm not getting into that. Invisible man talking. Invisible man
I'm proud
talking.
American. Can you say you're proud to be American?
Bro, let him do his
Bro,
thing,
let
man.
dude talk, bro.
Let Invisible Man talk. Go ahead, Invisible Man.
Okay, so when I say I like the term that's coming from there, and I intentionally left off lineage because that seems to be a word that triggers people. I just agree with the definition that that's where we all come from, and that's why I say, we're splitting hairs. And I'll give you an example of how we're splitting hairs, because Willie always goes back to the AME tradition. Well, my grandfather was an AME minister. My mother went to the AME church. I mean, that's where both my parents kind of met, in and around the church. So when you say you will never be FBA, okay, that's cool with me. But we're all headed in this direction where we and that's why I agree with what Volvo was saying. It's protecting our lineage, what our forefathers did. That's where I come from. I just don't think we're going to get any reparations. You know, at this age, this argument's been going on for a long time. I just don't think we're going to get any reparations. And lastly, I'll say this, and then I'm going to drop off the panel.
Don't
so
leave.
There's this dude named Peaches in the comments. I don't know if that's his name or if it's a girl or a woman. I'm going to call it a dude named Peaches. Man, you couldn't even play pickup ball in the park. Either you get off the bench and join up, or you shut your goofy ass up.
Job, Turkey.
Okay.
Don't leave, family. I want to respond to the reparations part. Good. Don't leave.
Hold on, man. It's the man in the high castle.
Hey, yo, chill out, Dinus.
Well, first and foremost,
Oh man.
I want to thank and God bless America. We have the greatest president in the United States. His name is Donald J. Trump. First and foremost,
Hey, man in the high castle.
America is back.
Man in the high castle, real quick. How do you feel about the State of the Union address yesterday? How did you feel about that?
It was excellent. If I do say so myself, that's a great question, sir. It's just like, see, the way I look at the Pan-Africanists and those who are on the sidelines in dismay, they're all left wing. They're all Marxist. Pan-Africanists are essentially Marxist. And the way FBA move about, we in full domination, just like how this Trump administration is. We on Operation Warp Speed. And y'all wondering why we don't play like how y'all play. Y'all just don't play to win. Y'all losing. Y'all have to try to win. Right now, Pan-Africanists they're giving a hospice speech. And the man in the high castle's holding your hand as an FBA is a full-blood American, foundational. I'm holding your hand and I'm trying to let y'all go. Y'all keep on. I hear the death rattle in your voice.
Can I go after
Don't
him?
do this to me, but I gotta let y'all go. I can't stay. I can't stay in the room forever
Hey, yo,
with y'all.
Dinus, I hate him and
It's
I
time
love
to
him at
put
the
y'all in
same
the
time.
grave.
Can I
Play
go
the
after
minstrel
him?
music.
Where the Pan-African youth at?
And after him is
Ain't
Willie
no
Curry.
Pan-African youth out here. They all FBA babies. They growing up loving FBA. You know, just like the Democratic Party. No children want to be Democrats. It's over.
We don't want to hold
Deal
hands
with
with
it.
a clown like you.
I voted for this.
All right,
Alright,
go
so
ahead, Willie. Willie, you got a minute,
So
Willie. Go
here's the
ahead.
reality about Black America, right? There have been a lot of grifts, right? Like FBA wasn't the first grift. The reality is that the history is the history, right? So there are going to be people that come into an understanding of what makes us who we are. I don't hate my FBA brothers. There's certain things that I can actually align with on their sentiment, right? I felt it as well. But the question then becomes, what are you delineating from? What are you saying that you delineating is going to stop Africans or West Indians or tethers from voting? What are you going to keep these people out of by delineating? My argument is that you need to be less concerned about delineating and defining who you really are and how you connect to this reparations argument if you claim to be representing the reparations argument, right? Like, I don't hate my FBA brothers. I understand how Black people got to the point where we are now. I just have a certain respect for my documented history and the work that Black people have put in to document and define our history. So I definitely don't hate my FBA brothers. I don't hate my brothers on the continent. I'm more looking at it through a lens of how did we get so divided? And I do have an understanding of how we got there. So with that being said, the one thing I will give FBA, right? This is only a conversation in America, right? You're not gonna have a FB Britain conversation or none of that, right? Like, so to those Africans that do come over here, right? If you are concerned with building something, there is a certain onus on you, right? To present that what many FBAs believe of your people isn't necessarily the truth. You are willing to work together. You are willing to come up and be a part of something that builds for all of us, right? But going back to the whole reparations argument, again, there are people that are talking about piecemealing this argument, right? There are people that are actually putting in valid work. So if you're concerned about the Pookies and Ray Rays, the honest truth is when we get to the portion that involves a check, right? The more logical conversation that would win with white America would be a tax credit. Why? Because white America will even take care of someone who's a working American, right? How can you participate in a tax credit? By having a job, right? This is not Pookie and Ray Ray, right? This is Walmart Tavius who's working on the Amazon truck. But dudes who are trying to do something, you get what I'm saying? Like, so the problem is we focus on the extremities of the argument that really play no factor in what is or can be, right? So hopefully we can bridge this gap between us, because the honest truth is we will both do better with the support of each other if we understand who put us in this situation on the continent and here in America. Habaragani, and I will end there.
All right, go
Well
ahead.
said.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So go ahead, Shabaka, and after Shabaka is Shah. Let me read this chat real quick. The Boogeyman 32, thank you for 499 holla. Tariq and most of the FBA fan club talk crazy about Africans every day, but want to get offended when they get some of that energy back. Okay. Go ahead.
Perfect.
See, brother Invisible Man, the dude with the American flag thing in his profile picture, that is why people think FBA his sentiments are why people think FBA want a proximity to whiteness. Dude is cheerleading for a colonizer, bro. Like there's no other way you could put that. But this conversation is nothing new. The boys had this with Garvey. It's always been a question. You have people that want to identify with the power structure because they see that as more beneficial and better strategically. And then you have people that don't want to identify with the power structure and they see that beneficial strategically. So that's just based upon somebody's individual subjective analysis. I would think when you make an objective analysis, when you make an objective analysis of the dynamics, I think that anybody that's reasonable would come to the conclusion that it would be best not to identify with this power structure if you want to obtain autonomy. But that's not most people's disposition. So, I really think that people need to really evaluate things objectively. And I think that them not evaluating things objectively and looking at things emotionally leads them to end up trying to tether themselves to Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and other people that would not pee on them if they was on fire. So
Nick
I'll use mine.
Fuentes. Well
All
said.
right,
Okay.
go ahead.
May I add on since he
No, you may
asked
not.
about
You
me?
may not.
Hold on. It's Shah's turn, and I'll pass it back to you.
I want to know that fool's
No,
name though.
excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Hold on.
sir.
Go ahead, Shah. Go ahead, Shah.
All right, so I think that that was interesting comment, the last person. But I think that we need to throw in that mix or analysis is Carter G. Woodson, 93 years ago, wrote
Yeah.
Miseducation of the Negro. So if 93 years ago, miseducation of a Negro was a thing, and he wrote books on the book. One is everybody knows Miseducation of the Negro, but he also wrote books on Africa and our connection with Africa. Because I believe that our ancestors coming out of slavery would not have been patriotic to this country, would not have said things like, "We built this country and we're so proud." No, they might have been proud of their communities that they built, but this is the Pan-Africanism. This is the foundation of Pan-Africanism is black folks like in Tulsa and in Seneca Village in Rosewood. That's the foundation of
Standing up.
really building in our community. It didn't need to be called Pan-Africanism. There was not even a word for Afrocentrism in my community in the 70s when they started Nairobi College. And it was a college that was from kindergarten all the way through junior college. We had a junior college, and the only place in the United States that where black folks controlled their education from K through college to date. But the point being made is that it doesn't matter what you call yourself. We're going to have this conversation, hopefully, as we educate our people and we are no longer miseducated, then we'll be clear about who we are, because how many generations does it take to not be an African? 2 generations? 3? When do you stop becoming African? When they
Yeah.
brought you here? When? When do you stop becoming an African? After 2, 3 generations? And the other question is, if
When
you're
they
if you're
unite a
continental,
tether.
excuse me,
Yeah.
sir, and when you come from the continent of Africa or wherever, and you black, how many generations does it take for you to be an African American? So those are the inconsistent questions that when we look at those, we face those, we don't have an answer to that because there is none. There's nothing you can say that says, "Oh, because you forgot everything." No, we didn't forget everything. Never, never did we forget everything. Read "Flash of the Spirit" by Robert Farris Thomas. Read Zora Neale Hurston's work, and there's other people you can read their works on
Betrayal
Africans
of the
in the
Negro,
South.
Rayford Logan.
African,
Yep.
yeah. And the people that are talking this stuff about we forgot everything has not read.
Yeah.
And if you are indigenous to this country, you are not black. I'm gonna land with this point. You're not black. You are Choctaw. You have an identity. You're Cherokee. You're whatever grandma said that you was or grandpa said that you was. Because if you know you're not from African descent and you're indigenous, then you must know that you're Cherokee or something. So stay out of black folks' business. If you Cherokee, be proud of it. You have an identity. I land right there.
All right, the man in the high castle. Go ahead. Then it's Africa. Unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you, sir. Who brought up my name just a while ago?
It was Shabaka.
Yeah, Shabaka. For certain, sir, you're off code, all right? And you're not about this FBA business. I'm not sure how come you keep on mentioning FBA. However, proud Americans like myself, we love this country. That's why we didn't flee. In actual fact, the man in the high castle, you can look for me in the whirlwind. You can look for me in the whirlwind and dress me up in red, white, and blue with the with the American flag.
How
Look for me
blasphemy.
in the
How
whirlwind.
blasphemy.
That's exactly
Draped
what you
over
need
his
to do.
shoulders. I can see
You
it.
heard?
I can see it.
Because the man in the high castle speaks for proud Americans, my lineage. And when I speak about proud Americans, I'm speaking about all demographic of Americans who can feel this and are sick and tired of you usurping, you immigrants, and you left-wing radical nut cases
That would be me.
destroying the economy. You're trying to hurt us. In actual fact, if the Democrat, I seen the tapes. I seen the alternate meta history tapes. If the Democrats were allowed to win, they're going to bring back all the illegals and give them reparations. So I beg you all proud Americans, fight, fight, fight.
See, Invisible Man, his
Murder.
sentiments diametrically oppose yours because he's tying himself to every demographic. You said you don't have
Man in that.
no bearings with white
No, he's
folks.
not. Nah,
He is.
When I
He's
speak about, when I speak,
appealing to the proud to be an American thing. He's not. It's not about black with him. It's with everybody.
No, you
He's one of
saying in the
them
high
rainbow
castle.
coalition.
you
Yeah, I
got
agree.
me, crazy. All right.
No, I don't. You
First
said
and
every
foremost,
demographic of Americans, brother. All you got to do
all
is replay it
demographics
5 seconds.
Americans who are proud Americans. That's when I say proud Americans, I'm talking about all demographic of
talking about a
Americans.
specific
Yeah,
group.
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's my point.
High
He's
Proud
Castle.
Americans.
Invisible
You're
Man
not
said he
proud.
didn't want nothing to
You're
do with
not
white
High
folks.
proud to be
Castle. What
American,
about the
sir.
blacks?
You're
Hold
not
on.
proud to be American, sir.
I'm not
But
no
here's my
American.
question to
That's
you,
not. I'm
High
not no
Castle.
American.
Exactly. You're
Castle,
not
what
proud.
about the
Get out my
blacks,
country.
right?
Get out
That
my
you
damn country,
recognize.
Ilhan Omar.
Enforce it, man.
Get
Enforce
out
it.
my country,
High
Ilhan
Castle.
Enforce
Omar.
it.
This is a
Enforce it.
legitimate question. What
You
about
guys
the
are crazy.
blacks that recognize what America, right, through the FBI, through J. Edgar Hoover,
What about the
did?
starving kids across Europe? Do you
No, I
think
get.
people
I'm
care?
not worried
So I
about
don't
them.
care about what you're saying.
But these are your people.
More
I'm
like the
talking about
man
a
in the low
black
cap.
My
issue.
FBA family, are
It's merely
hard
an
body
awareness.
and on code. They know what
So
I'm talking about.
so it's not about being black, it's about being American.
Bro, you not on code. You supported somebody that wouldn't pee on you if you was on fire, man. Like, what are
That's
you
a
talking
fact.
about? Y'all
You
like y'all
can't
y'all
put a
y'all don't make
You're
single
begging and
don't make
black
coherent
comparing,
line
sentences.
in
and you're
Trump's
If
administration.
anti-American,
if
and
your
you know it.
ancestors
You don't love this
saw
country
you
like I
supporting
do.
Trump, if your ancestors saw you supporting
Press
Trump,
one
that
if
if
you
you
love the country
supposedly
like the man in the high castle
if
in the
your
chat.
ancestors saw you supporting Trump, if you claim that they African American for what
They
however many
would
I'm not no
generations,
African American. I'm a
they would
full
disown
blood
you.
American. I'm
they
a
They would
would
full
disown
cringe
you.
blood
at least.
They
foundational
would disown
black
you.
American.
But High
I'm a
Castle,
Hey,
I'm
full
I,
blood
asking you a
American.
yeah,
question.
My
I got a
folks
question.
Hold
I
on.
got a
are
question for
indigenous to this
High
land. They
Castle, I'm
built it from
asking
the
you a
ground up.
question because even in claiming FBA, right, you
I
do
got a question
recognize
for
you're
you.
a black man.
Full blood
So what I'm
American.
saying to you is, how do you deal with black Americans, right, who you would want to tie to your lineage? One of the things I point out is when y'all point out black spending and all the things, y'all talk about me, and I'm not FBA, right? I am a black African American man. My roots are clearly here in America, but I'm not FBA, right? So how do you deal with those of us that feel like we can't drape that stars and stripes over our shoulders because we know
You're
what this
not a proud
country did
American,
to our
sir.
people? So hear what I'm
That's the
saying though.
thing about it. If the
Uh, he-
cops pull you over, ask you for your ID, you're
What?
gonna
I got my
tether. You're
ID.
gonna quiver.
No, I
Me,
got my no,
I'm
sir.
a I'm a
I got
show 'em.
my
I'm gonna show
ID
them exactly.
and I
You
got a
see this? You see
PBA
this
card.
ID? This is a
I got
proud
a
American,
police
sir.
benevolence
This is a proud
association
American.
card as
I'm a
well.
boss up.
Hear what I'm saying, right? I got a
I'm a
PBA
boss
card.
up and keep my composure like a proud American.
Hold on, talk to me,
You
High
sweating?
Castle. Talk to me, High
You
Castle,
from New
right?
York, sir? You're not even from a real.
Can you,
You're
High
not even from
as
the
an
Castle. Hold
United
on, real
American,
quick,
States.
can
real
you
quick, real
make our
quick.
schools
Look
Don't
at
go
better?
New
there.
York
Hold on.
City. It's a
The black
Give
desecrated
us
schools are
a
mess.
second.
not
Let's get
good.
it
It's a
out.
mess.
Can you
No,
deal with the
he's with
black
the
So let me
funding
schools
ask
them.
you a
being
question,
The
High
underserved,
street
Castle.
rats have a better
underfunded
time than you.
Hold on, High Castle. It's going
since it's
back to
your
the same
country?
question I asked
Mandani's
you, right?
country.
Even in
No,
Look at
terms
sir.
of,
Mandani
hold
ruling
No.
on,
over
Why
even
is
you.
in
your
terms
why
of
is
you
your
Sharia
people
talking
law.
worse
about,
off in this country if it's
even in
our
terms
country?
of you talking about getting pulled over, right?
Look at you.
I have a PBA card, right? Police Benevolence Association. I
Now
put
you
that
ask
on
the
top.
police officers to
Hear me
suck your
out.
D in New
Hear me
York
out.
City.
Hear
That's
me
all
out.
you do.
I'm not in New York no more, but
We
hear
seen
me
we
out.
we seen how y'all talk on
Wait, Willie,
YouTube.
let's ask
Let
him this question. If it's
let me
his
just
country, how come his people are the ones with the least amount of wealth and projected to be at zero wealth by
but see, bro,
2053?
the reason why I
If
didn't
it's
want to
your
We
ask that
country,
eating good
question,
out here.
I'm doing
We
better than
inventing things.
uh-huh.
80% of
You
white
are
We
eating
people.
building
good.
things.
Hold
You
on,
We
as an
bro.
keep
individual are eating
continuing.
I
good.
didn't want to ask that question because I'm doing better than 80% of white people in America. That's a fact. Just
Hey,
financially,
So is
but you're not
Oprah.
focusing on
American,
annual
sir, and you're
income,
not
right?
proud.
The question I wanted to ask him was, right? Acknowledging you're a black man.
Who
I'm
do you
asking you,
employ, sir?
can I ask you a question,
Who do you
bro?
employ, sir?
Did he ask you a
Exactly. You have
question?
I
nobody to
employ
employ.
black people.
You don't
When
run
I
no
get
type
the
of business, sir.
when I get the opportunity to hire, I hire other black men with priority, right? I probably shouldn't even say that. But yeah,
Specifically from
nah,
this
not
country?
specifically. If I find a white man that's extremely qualified for the job, yeah, he
From
gets
this
the job,
country.
right? Hear what
From
I'm
He's
this
saying?
in this
country.
country. He's in this
Man,
country. So
just
what do you
answer the
think?
man
Yeah, I
question,
don't,
bro.
hold on. I don't discriminate. So let's just leave that there. But I know there's a lot of talent in my community that I could put my hands on easily because of where I
What's your
come from,
community,
right?
sir?
But hear what I'm saying, the black community in America. I'm from
My
Harlem.
community is the
I'm
American
from
community,
Harlem.
sir.
Blackest
Oh, so then
community
you
See,
don't
that's what
in,
speak.
I'm saying,
hold
bro. You
on.
with the
Okay,
I'm
Rainbow
from
so
Coalition
Harlem,
stuff,
you
man.
the
are
blackest
Dude
community
is a
in
cool.
you're
North
along with the
America.
white
Yeah,
people.
he a
Let me
So
sellout,
get
man. He a
back to the
sellout.
question I
we're
wanted to ask you,
You
brother.
the man
It's
in the
going to
low
be
castle.
simple.
You're not the man in the high castle.
I know
Nah,
you
It's
he
bathe
going,
the
in
man
I
in the
hold
know you
on.
outhouse,
bathe in
man.
holy camel
Yo,
Pete.
High Castle, can
You
you
like
talk to me
Ilhan
for a second?
Omar. You don't love this country.
High
Get
Castle,
out of
talk to
here.
me. High Castle, talk to me for a second, right? How do you deal with black Americans who our only roots are here in America, but because of the things America did to black people, we can't drape that stars and stripes over our shoulders.
Don't tell me
Like,
what I can't do.
No,
Grace
no, no,
Wisher,
he's
she
not
was a
talking about
that's not
you.
what
foundational
I
Black
He's not
American,
said,
talking
and
bro.
she
about you,
sewed
sir.
and
Not
He's
stitched
what
the,
I
not
the
talking
red,
about
said,
you
white, and
bro.
blue
specifically.
flag that you see. She was
You
12
he's
years
not
old.
talking
Yo,
about you,
bro,
sir,
listen to the
specifically. He
question.
said
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
our
not what I
Grace
people.
said.
Wisher
And because you're not
sewed and
our
stitched the
people,
American
you're a
flag.
human in
She was
America.
FBA.
What do we have to talk about, High Castle? Since you're not part of the black community, what do we have to talk about? He's talking about our people, not Americans, because we're
We are
not like
Americans, sir.
Americans.
We
No,
are
sir.
American.
Yes, we
Well,
are, but we're
we're
black
in
Americans.
America,
Why are you so
but
proud?
all
Why are you so
Americans are
proud to
not
be
treated the
something other than
same.
American? Why are
Other
you
Yo,
so
what
all
education
Americans
anti-American?
are
I
not
had
treated the
as a black
same.
man, right?
When your ancestors were enslaved, were you an
We're in a
American then?
merit-based society
When your
now. Now
ancestors
give
were
up and
enslaved,
start
were you an
be
American?
competitive.
When your
What do you think
Bro,
ancestors
we
were
don't even
America
gonna
enslaved,
answer
when your
spells?
that.
What do
ancestors
you
were
think
Let me
enslaved,
America
were
ask
you an
you a
spells?
American?
What
question.
do you think America spells out?
When your
It
ancestors were
spells out I
enslaved, were
am
you
race.
American? When your
America
ancestors
spells
were
I
enslaved, were
am
you
race.
American?
So
You
be
don't want to answer
competitive
that.
and run.
You don't
Dude is
want to answer that
delusional, man. He's
because you
Hey,
delusional.
guys,
are
guys.
confused.
Let
Hold
me
on.
let me pass
Hey,
two Niger just came on here. Go
but
ahead,
can
two
I
Niger.
ask
You
High Castle a
compromise,
No,
bro.
question?
no, we're
Okay.
past.
You
Nah,
keep
you
on
are.
bellyaking,
What's up?
sis.
You guys,
Capital Cook.
two Niger. Go ahead, Niger.
Hold
Thank you,
on.
Diane,
What's
for
up,
having me,
Monica?
and then greetings, everyone. I'm not so
Did you make the
sure
rice?
that it is
Mm.
not to be expected that you have ADOS, Tariq Nasheeds, or man in the high castle. It's to be expected. I think it's this similar to any other community where you have people that don't subscribe to the majority of the way the community feels, and the way I'm not sure I necessarily have any ideological issue with somebody feeling proud of being an American. My issue is whether you have ownership of that. Do you have a stake in that country? Do you have any control of anything there?
Sir, I
Because
like you. What's your name?
let me
Real quick.
it's to Niger.
It's not about us having control. It's about
I
y'all
like you,
respecting
sir, but
our
could you chew that bush
lineage.
meat before you start speaking again?
No. Hey,
It's
you,
all right.
hey,
It's all
hey,
right.
hey,
Go
hey,
ahead.
hey,
He's
MAGA
silly.
mascot,
He's
shut
not
the
even
fuck up.
serious.
MAGA mascot, shut the fuck up. Let's get some clarity here. He just up here to cause some fucking discourse. Let me lay it on you the way you
Well, hold
supposed
on.
to.
No, let two Niger finish and then man high castle. Don't
But
interrupt. Go ahead,
Tunaja,
two
be
Niger.
easy, bro.
Go
Don't.
ahead, two Niger. Go ahead, two Niger.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily have an ideological or kind of visceral dislike for be against somebody that is proud to be an American. Because what I have an issue with is if you are just a cannon fodder for others to use as a see fit. Because if you say you are proud of America, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. If you can channel it to enrich your community, the fact that he's here clearly shows that he understands he's part of the black community, but he wants to take them to the direction where they are proud of America, not realizing clearly why they should be. You see, that's the question, because I noticed that other groups, they subscribe to the American state because America benefits them and they actually will the American power. We know the groups that do these things. They will the American power to their own interest. Do we do that? Are you
It
asking
benefits
people?
us,
Are
though,
you asking your own
Tunaja.
people to? But see, are you asking people to sign on to the American program without necessarily having any stake in it? You want your own people to be cannon fodder. That is, for me, that is where I have an issue, because if you're in a country, you carry the passport. There's good reason to be proud of that country too, but you have to have a stake in the country. You have to have control of what is going on in that country, because if you don't, then you're just cannon fodder.
It's
And
not
But
about being
Tunaja,
proud.
having a
Sir,
stake
It's not
doesn't
about
may
being
I
mean
proud
interject
in the
and
country.
compliment? Just give me
No,
30
hey, no.
seconds.
We've been listening to
30
your MAGA
seconds.
ass, bro.
Stop
No, guys,
interrupting
hold
the
on.
man.
No,
Stop,
no,
stop
You
no,
don't
no,
help
guys,
nothing
interrupting when
out.
he's
hold, hold,
You
speaking.
hold
don't
on,
help
hold
30
nothing
on.
out,
seconds
man.
and skip over me
You don't help
afterwards.
nothing out, man. You don't help nothing.
Hold on. Two Niger, are you done?
Yeah.
Two Niger.
yeah, I just wanted to add something else
Okay.
about the Continentals. The Continentals, you see, one thing I've noticed is that there are different groups that come on to African Americans from Africa and they want to talk to them. You know how family members, they meet each other during the holidays, and your uncle will tell you or your mom will tell you not to go near to that one, and stay away from that guy. He seems a little bit dodgy. That is how I'm trying to highlight some of the points I'm trying to make right now. If you are encountering a continental Muslim,
as an African American or the diaspora, the Caribbean, and all the rest, you have to be aware and listen to what they are telling you closely, because sometimes some of them, they don't see you as brethren.
None of you have ever saw us as brethren, man. What the fuck you playing with us? How you want to
Let me finish what I'm saying.
No, bro, you're trying to hold us to your accountability of what you'll measure another nation by, and other people being beholden to that nation, man. This is the problem. This is the reason why there's delineation, because you motherfuckers speaking up out of turn when you ain't supposed to. You was the ones who first jumped up out of pocket. When you have black people over here, the average black person who didn't have no focus on their lineage whatsoever, and here come you foreign fucks jumping out of pocket with the average black American trying to call us into some type of fucking accountability towards Pan-Africanism, when the black Pan-African over here couldn't call their own community into an accountability. And here come all you foreign fucks later because you get in your fucking feelings. You are out of pocket. And then you mad because we give you the same flack and the same energy that you see us giving each other for 60, 70 fucking years. You love hearing it put to a beat. You love watching it on cinema. You'll even portray it or mimic it your own fucking self. But you don't think that we're supposed to give you that flack when you culturally disrespect us vehemently and then say, fuck you? What do you expect from us?
He's not lying to Nigel.
You know, I've never had such false indignation.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
That's false.
There is no false.
Dinah, can I come after tonight?
Nobody who is not black American should be speaking up and saying nothing.
It's the whole speaking. It's the whole speaking.
Dinah's talking.
To Niger, you got 30 seconds, and I'm gonna pass the rope.
Thank you.
You got 30 seconds.
Thank you. Yeah. So my point is that, like people like Myron Gaines now. You see them, you know, in the US, and the way they carry themselves as if they are not necessarily black. And you have to be aware there are groups in Africa that see it differently.
Myron Gaines is from Canada. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's Sudan too. He's from Sudan, and some of them are the ones actually attacking black Africans because they are not Arabs. So you have to know that there are different shades of different black people within the continent too, and this is why I thought I should highlight this point. The Muslims themselves.
Okay, I gotta pass the mic.
Maybe Africa want to speak though.
You made the FBA argument.
Yeah, can I come after him, please? Thank you.
Yeah, then it's Willie. Africa, then Willie. Go ahead. I can't pronounce your name. Go ahead, son.
All right, so look, when it comes to this, first and foremost, this started off with black people taking a look at our history, our lineage. We got all right to do that. We got all right to declare ourselves however we see fit within our own history.
Facts.
None of you have anything to say. Not no Pan-Africans, not no Africans, not no non-white minorities. Y'all shouldn't have shit to say about how we compartmentalize and how we analyze ourselves. Because black Americans don't do that. They've always been cool with just projecting they're the same American as these Peckerwoods here. And with the ADOS analysis and the FBA analysis, that was the very first time that we actually put forth a cultural intention for that. So you got people who never took a look at themselves lineage-wise en masse.
Disagree.
Right? And then the very first people who speak up out of turn are those who are also so-called fellow black. And now you're calling black Americans into an African accountability that none of you motherfuckers have, whether you're from Eritrea, South Africa, Ghana, Gambia, Nigeria, Malawi. It don't matter where the fuck y'all from. Y'all ain't never brought y'all Mark Monkey ass here and connected to the Pan-Africans who was already here in the United States.
Disagree.
Ain't no fucking disagree, because I'm a former Pan-African here in fucking Texas, have been since motherfucking 2009. Me and my wife was here rocking this shit, and we fell back 2012 when we realized that you can't center black American issues here in Pan-Africa. 2009, bitch.
Really?
You goddamn.
Well, excuse me, sir. I didn't
yeah. No, don't interrupt him. So you guys interrupted him. You got Rokishi, son. You got another minute. Go ahead.
All right. So all y'all are out of pocket. We don't owe none of y'all an explanation for shit, because the moment that you came here, you told us you weren't us. You showed us you weren't us. And now with us we've only been a fixture in your American experience, and now you're getting dislodged from the preference that you rather be at. No different from these Peckerwoods. They only speak up when the status quo gets uncomfortable, and that's why you motherfuckers got all this jaw now. And I land.
You sound retarded, man. You sound retarded.
And
all right, actually, I got to pass the mic to him because M's been waiting. But let me read the super chats first. The Boogeyman 499, Boogeyman 32. Thank you for 499. Holla. Since the man in the High Council is a proud American, will he also take responsibility for colonialism, imperialism, and slavery along with the founder? Enigma 3747, $10 holla. Please post a link. I did. Go ahead, M.
That was a good super chat.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I heard somebody say, how come Black Americans don't have ownership? Why don't we have the power, or why are we at the bottom? Let me be real brief. Since the Civil Rights Act, they created something called the minority status. That included everybody in the world. So the small portion of money it wasn't never really allocated to us, but what they did allocate after the Civil Rights Act had to be shared amongst everybody that comes to America. And usually there's nothing left for Black Americans. Before the Civil Rights Act, America was divided into 50-50. Half of America belonged to Black people. We had every institution it was by law we had to create our own institutions. Now, I read an article. Y'all can look this article up. It's a study from Stanford. They was looking like, how come 98.8% of all money that's invested goes to white males, and all other demographics in America, Africans, white women, Asians, they have to share less than 2%. That tells you right there. A lot of people that come to America, they're not coming to compete with white people. They coming to get the crumbs that was allocated to blacks, and then they tell us why we ain't doing good. It's only so many spots in the classrooms. It's only so many jobs, and y'all not coming for them white people jobs. Y'all coming for them jobs that was supposed to go to us, and then tell us how come you ain't got nothing. It just doesn't really. It's like I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. It's like a maggot. It's like a fly that looks for the bottom scraps. It's like a shrimp. You go for the lowest hanging fruit, and then time to look how we doing. Your whole group is coming just attacking our carcass. You're not attacking the white. You're not competing.
That's not
with
true.
The other
That's not
groups.
true. That's not true.
And I respond.
Go ahead.
My thing is that we should be owning our businesses, and if we can't own business and do businesses because of terrorism, then we need to be thinking about what we're going to do about that, because I don't think we should take a defeat in any way. We had businesses at turn of the century, and then the Red Summer came, and over 1,300 massacres in different areas where we had communities that were starting up. We had viable, thriving economic communities.
Wilmington on fire.
Right. And so this is where we're at. So we know that we can do it, but now we have even lost the agency that we can do that. We're talking about a job. We're talking about competing with jobs. And we should not be talking about that being in this country this long. But that's part of where the miseducation part comes, because your education does not prepare you, does not get you in a mindset in which you will run your own stuff. You will create your own economies. It teaches you to go get a job. That's what it does. That's what your education does. And it teaches you other things too that are very negative in terms of our own mindset, our own agency. And there was something else that the other brother Rogi said that I wanted to comment on. Damn, I forgot what it was.
Hey, let me respond to what you just said.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
And I do have a little bit of smoke for that, right? Because the honest truth is, what many of our ancestors fought for was for us to be ingrained in this system and be able to do well. And you know the honest truth, right? It worked for me. Now, I'm not American flag draping Negro with it over my shoulders. I understand the horrors and the all of wrong involved in it as well. But you got to understand, our ancestors did fight for us to have a place in this system. So being an employee isn't necessarily a bad thing. My wife and I are both employees, and the lifestyle we provide for our kids is way better than the overwhelming majority of the white race. That's a fact. So
Hey,
when
look, look,
Tunisia,
look,
hold
But wait a
on,
minute,
hold
look,
on.
look.
they're not the measurement, are they?
I'm a
Are they? Are
land.
they?
I'm a
Are they the
land. I'm a
measurement?
land. I'm a
They're not the
land, bro.
measurement, are they?
I'm
Though.
not claiming I'm not claiming I'm the metric, right?
No,
But
no,
when
no, no, no.
Tunisia,
I'm saying the white race. You keep This is the second time you brought up the
well, in
white race.
America they are.
They're not the measurement. No, but
They're
that's
In
the
not.
whole.
They're not
America,
the
we're
standard.
competing with
That's the
them.
whole issue with
They're
black
not the
people.
standard.
That's the
But
issue.
But
but
the
right
guy who
now,
claimed
let
that
me land.
Africans come here to take your
That's a
job,
conversation I
I
would
don't
like to
believe
have
that.
with
I
the
don't
brother
think
that
so
just
The
came
white
in.
because
Hold on,
male
Willie, can I
Tunisia.
narrative.
speak?
Hold on,
Oh
Tunisia. I
shit,
wasn't
time.
The
done.
brother
Hold
should be
on.
more quick. He just
Hold
want to get
on.
into a long tirade. But let's just be in and out with the
Yeah, I'm gonna
comments.
be
You see what
quick.
I'm saying?
I didn't even get started,
You be
bro.
you sound like
This
you've
is
been
you
talking for 5 minutes.
electrifying. When I say
Yeah,
something,
can I
everybody want to jump in, right? But
can
look,
I have a
I
word?
am
Can I
gonna
have
be
a word
quick.
now?
All right, Willie, can we let Africa to
Can I
speak now,
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
my
yeah.
please?
point?
Hold
What I
on, guys. Hold on. Willie, you got 30 seconds.
thank
Africa.
you.
30
Thank you.
seconds.
So the reality, Tunisia, is when the brother in the castle says, I'm a proud American, right? And when you say we benefited nothing from this system, it wasn't necessarily about ownership of the system. We're outnumbered on this land, right? But many of us are doing well, right? So I do recognize the value in our American status, right? That
It's about
doesn't
a
make us,
community. It's about a community, though. That's the whole
bro, I
issue.
only got
If we're not
30
an
seconds,
aggregacy,
bro.
no. But the thing, if
Well,
we're
well,
not
well,
I
well,
got
well,
if we're
30
well,
not an
well,
seconds.
aggregacy,
well,
we're not
well,
talking about none. If we're
I
not
only
an
Willie,
got
Willie,
aggregate,
30
30 more seconds,
seconds.
Willie.
the whole issue is people got a problem with us being an
God,
aggregate.
Jesus.
Pass the
Willie, you
Nah,
mic.
got 30 seconds.
hear what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
okay.
I'm trying to bridge the gap because I understand what both sides are saying, but I want to correct Tunisia that it's not necessarily about ownership, right? Where our ancestors fought for us just to be in this market and compete, right? That's the shoulders of what I stand on, and I'm doing well. So I'm not gonna strike that down. So I understand what the brother says about being American. But to him, I would say I can't be a full American flag draping Negro. That doesn't give me a tariff, right? I can't do that because I also understand the other side of my history,
All
right?
right, I got to
And
pass. All right, Africa, it's
all
your
right, go
turn.
ahead.
Go ahead.
May I add on
Yeah,
after this?
yeah.
Man, y'all cut
Hold
me
on.
Can,
Africa,
off.
Africa, then it's Rogi's son, then it's back to you, man, in the high castle. Go ahead, Africa.
And then Wall Street.
thank you, sir, and thank you, City, for reminding me. Thank you, Dynasty. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, but first of all, I do understand where the brothers are coming from. You know, I live in the UK. You know, because I live in America. I'm giving you a good example. I can see their frustration and anger. Okay, and we have a good example of why the African Americans should have formed their own bloc, not a hating bloc against Africans. I think it should form their own bloc to work with the Africans and work with the Europeans in America, for them to succeed in this day and age. Because, as I said, every group of people have their own agenda and they have their own, stuff they want for themselves and they have their own history. And African Americans, they have their own unique identity, whether we African continental people like it or not. We are the same most of the time genetically, but culturally we're different, and also, we have different struggle, that's what makes the cultures different, because of the struggle that they have. The UK is a good example. We had good, decent Caribbean local representative in the UK where I live, and that used to represent us in the parliament. Used to be very outspoken. Fight for the social justice. Everything was going well. I think the trend was going actually quite well. And then we had influx of Africans who came over. I say these are Africans, that came from probably a bit of elites families from the continent, and they came here. They kind of eroded everything that the local black people, fought for, and they just basically sweep them under the carpet and start working with the white man, who is against the civil rights movement. And this is a good example of the last conservative government. Okay, and even now is a trend that they still follow. We have a leader of opposition in the UK who came from Nigeria, who aligned herself with the racist white group against the black people that been here who helped build this country after the Second World War. And the MPs that used to speak for the what they call Windrush generation, for example, okay, they've been silenced. Now the politicians who speak the pro-white, speak for the far right, speak for the right-wing identity politics against the black people who've been here, who suffered under slavery, who came here and helped rebuild this country after the Second World War. Okay, their voice has been silenced, and this is not something African Americans should take lightly. It's something they should learn from moving forward. I understand that, but if you are going to form a group, just to be anti-African, it's not going to work. And also, I think your reparation, I don't know about how successful that will ever be in America. But I think in the long run, you got a place called Liberia. You should have a leader. At the moment, African Americans don't have a leader. If you ask me, that's the problem that you face. Because if you have a movement like this in this day and age, you need to have a strong leader who is willing to die for
Go fix up your homeland, Tether.
That's fine. My homeland is so you need a leader.
Keep rocking, dog. Keep rocking. You good?
Yeah. We don't have a leader in Africa. I agree. That's fine. I got my own problem. Just because we have a problem doesn't mean I have to let you guys suffer. That's just not good mindset to have as a black person. We don't need people like you that are just interrupted. Okay, we need black people who are actually looking for the general good of our population globally. But saying that, I think you need to work out what you need, what you really want in this day and age, and come together and choose a decent leader who will actually, work for you guys and advocate your points and lobby hard, and actually make your points right.
Why does it take a leader?
Yeah.
Why can't it take a principle? Why does it take a leader, an actual anthropomorphized, I guess, symbol? Why can't it just take a principle?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Sometimes if you have sometimes the principle is, if it's not that organized, okay, it can be problematic. But if you have a leader who is organized, you all can follow.
That's what foundational Black American is. It's a principle of lineage. Okay. I wasn't
Sir,
down.
You don't have that in your own homeland.
So who is the leader? Who is the leader?
All you have is
No.
What are you talking about, sir?
The principle
who is the leader?
The principle is the leader. You just said it yourself.
No. Someone have to put the principle in place.
The code is the leader.
It's already
you don't have code, Tethers.
The code is already. Hey, cuz, chill out, man. They being 100. Chill out.
He's being immature.
But Africa still speaking anyway. You still speaking.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah. So let me land. Thank you. Okay. So if like back in the days, a lot of the things were achieved in the UK because they had strong leaders who advocate and who know where to go and how to do things. And also you need that strong lobby group, and also you need think tanks. Okay. And there's loads of things that you need as a group. But at the moment, I am not saying that. I hope you find that very soon, because I want you to achieve that. I want the best for you guys. I'm not saying it because
but
I'm trying to look.
You think a leader is essential towards that progression over a unified principle and accord?
Yes.
Why?
The reason why I say that, historically, us black people, we always have struggled to follow principle because we're very I don't know how to use this word. We're all over the place, okay? But the moment that we have a good leader.
Let them land.
Sorry?
Huh?
Okay.
Damn, man.
Okay.
You ain't never been in the field. That's why I don't think this.
So you can talk, but I remember you whining on Sharon Bracey's show, flipping out, sir.
Hey, cuz.
Don't cause me. I'm telling you.
I'm cussing you, motherfucker.
I'm telling you. I saw you trying on Sharon Bracey's show.
Hey, you can't cuss yourself.
You remember that? You remember that?
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Is there any movement that ever worked without a leader? Can you name me one?
Yeah, the Boule.
When it comes to black people.
The Nation of Islam.
Member of the Boule. I'm all about
the Nation of Islam.
What? Elijah Muhammad.
When you talk about the HBC,
yeah, exactly. He was a leader, right?
That's talented 10. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my point. So you just
Marcus Garvey, he was a leader.
Thank you.
Booker T. Washington was a leader.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you
but
look at,
that's why he's saying
read
the new FBA, they don't have leader, they don't have
Man, shout
sound
out to the
leader, and it's not
Boule.
going to go without a
That's
leader.
on W.E.B. Du Bois and the Dead Homies. Shout
No,
out to the Boule.
yo, okay, look. When it
Yeah.
comes to a leader, when it
Okay.
comes to a leader, the issue is that
Mhm.
black
Africa still
Americans in
speaking. So
particular. All right, go ahead.
The leader in Africa is poverty.
Hey,
Yeah, well,
Clean,
hey,
fresh
I am
water to
not. I
drink.
am.
That's the leader.
It's never.
Finding
It's never
clean,
always.
fresh
Listen,
water to drink.
we always have.
Trading
Okay,
gold
throughout
for
history,
food. That's the
we
But
leader.
brother, when you
in
talk
we
Africa.
about
had.
leadership has failed Africa, right? So when you throw that out
In,
there,
in the modern
in a
days,
high
yes. In the
castle
modern
as
days,
an
it's modern. You
easy
have yes.
hold on, but
Mm.
Hey,
high
can I
castle
can
as
I
an
can I re-
easy
In
can
the
I re-
modern days,
can I respond to
in
the
the modern
brother
days.
earlier? Africa
Yeah,
has
yeah.
seven
Let me
countries.
I'm the
They
middle
may
ground.
conceptualize a concept like that.
What Mike? Burkina Bay is. We got to go ahead, Burkina Bay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for having me, Dynas. Like I have time just to ask like few questions to the brothers that are in here. So I just wanted to know, and I'm going to allow you guys to correct me if I'm not mistaken. Is it still written in the Constitution that you guys are like two-thirds of a human being?
No.
Was that corrected or
That was a good
was
question.
that corrected?
That's the metric of that. Hold up, that's not a metric of our value of the
14th
essence of our
Amendment
being.
made us citizens.
That's
To
what
answer
the
your question
pilgrims put
simply,
forth.
now that was a
So
good question.
they don't define us as a being, homie. So
To answer your
that's the wrong
question
question.
simply, the 14th Amendment made us citizens. So no, that's
The
not my
two-thirds
reality.
Okay.
the
I'm
two-thirds
a
clause
citizen.
never
I'm a
specified who they were talking
I am a
about.
whole human.
So
Hey,
the
yo,
reason why I'm asking.
fuck that whole constitution because they still got sundown towns here. And if
Nah,
that
but
shit
that was a
permits
good
sundown
question.
towns,
I just want to
fuck
answer his
it.
question.
Fuck that
Yes,
constitution.
No, I
yes,
hear
they
you.
do have
Don't make
sundown
us
I
out
hear
of
you.
with that.
No, I hear
Yeah.
you, because the reason why I asked this question is because I know that many of y'all are very proud of that flag, right? So how
Fuck
can you
no.
guys be proud of a flag? How can you guys be proud of a flag that represent a system where you guys are not full human beings?
That was a good question.
I can answer that question.
Look. If you were here, you would see fucking slave programming that go down. You would see that plantation conditioning, and that shit sprouts up. You ever seen a black person that smiles at every white person that they encounter, and then when a black person shows up, the motherfucker faces turn and shit.
Wait,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? Like quick,
Don't
huh?
preface it from that angle, right? Because
No, I can't preface it from that angle because that's one of the nuances that
but hear what
occur.
I'm saying, bro. I get you.
That's one of the nuances that that's one of the nuances that's indicative of that fucking earlier plantation conditioning.
That's
If he
a
don't
fact.
understand that, he needs to understand that. But to call us to an accountability, this is the issue that I got with you foreign motherfuckers.
But wait.
From what metric are y'all calling us on any accountability?
Out, bro.
Ain't no crash out, homie.
Okay, so
But
all right, so I hear you, brother.
He's basically rage baiting with that question. He's rage baiting.
You always,
He's trying to cause a commotion. I wouldn't even respond to that question.
Right? Hold on.
He
There's
not
a
built
better
like
way
that.
we can answer the question, right? The reality is
No, but I hear all of you.
This guy gonna talk for 10 minutes.
Hold on. There's a better way to
No,
answer that question.
Willie Burkina Bay still speaking.
Go ahead, Burkina Bay.
Right, let the guy rage baiting with that question though.
So the one thing I'm gonna say is that the man in the high castle is very proud of that flag. Okay. Now the other thing I wanted to bring up is that the other thing I wanted to bring up is that I know that you guys in history, in American history, at some point had the choice to either be by yourselves or to integrate with the white man, and you guys choose to integrate. And I think part of the problem comes from there.
No,
and you choose to eat bushmeat and still.
No, that's not true.
Can I respond to this guy?
Am I wrong?
We don't have a choice to be by ourselves.
So here's the reality.
Okay, but am I wrong? Am I wrong? Correct me. Please correct me.
You got a point.
You are wrong. You are wrong. Let me.
Choice was
People don't want to just be at the core.
What Burkina Bay is saying that if you guys were to choose
Africa, right? When we became the Negro problem after the civil rights, not civil rights, I'm sorry, Civil War, right? We became the Negro problem. You have all these freed blacks. The choice was to go back to Africa or stay here and cast your lot. And at that point was our ethnogenesis, where for me, we truly became our own people.
Not all of us had that choice.
No, not all of them. Not all of them. They
Hey,
say
Chad,
all of us had that choice to go to Africa.
He's from New York City.
It
We
doesn't
asked for
matter that he's from New
integration.
York City. So
See, the
what? Not all of us
reality
had
is
the
y'all don't
choice to go back
understand
to
is there were
Africa. It
more
was a
He from
small
New York
amount of us.
Africans
City.
in
He
We
live
all
America
on
had
the
a
than
main
there
During
choice
the
to go
were
back
line.
to
white
Liberia,
people.
Africa, and
during
some
the
of us.
slave trade,
He
people
But
was
live
what
on
telling
the main
Liberians
What
line
they
in
Burkina
Angie
said is
Como.
true.
See,
Some
here's the
of
Burkina
us
problem.
Faso
So
chose
a
said you
lot of
not
you
to
guys
don't
go.
choose to
understand the
Of the ones
integrate.
that
they
had
conversation.
that
had
When
a
you're
choice
talking
opportunity to
in the
go.
integration,
1820s.
when you're talking integration,
Not
you're
all of
talking
us had
about
that
being able
choice.
to
You know,
take
but
your
A
Burkina
lot
baby
of
Faso
people
gives you
didn't
to
want
a
to go.
hospital. Let me
what
There,
say
out
this
of
Burkina
the
Faso
again.
is
small group
saying
of us
that
When
that
when
you're
you
had the
guys were
talking
choice, some of us
decided to
didn't want to
integration,
grow.
separate, that
Didn't
you're
would
want
be
to go.
good.
talking about the
Let's
ability
let's
to
say
take
it
your
right if we're gonna
Regardless,
say
baby
innit?
it.
to a hospital.
I don't
Think
think we
about
can listen
that.
to everybody at
Hold on,
once.
real quick, bro. And I'm gonna land. When we're talking integration, we're
Oh
talking
my
the
God, Willie.
ability to be able to take your
You're
baby
gonna go for
to a
10 minutes.
hospital and not have to go on to an all-black hospital. But understand, integration wasn't the only model that was presented. There was also infusion cities. But you want to know
Oh
what happened
God.
to infusion cities, right? You get Wilmington
There we go
burning.
with the Tartaria.
But hold
No,
on,
this is
wait. Hey,
this
bro.
actual. Hold on,
Damn.
this actual
Go ahead, man.
history,
Keep
right?
cooking, man. This
It,
motherfucker got a
it
problem
wasn't
right here.
just integration or nothing. There was also
No.
infusion
Hold
cities.
on. When you say
Oh,
infusion, what do you mean when you say infusion? I've
You
never
just
heard of
so
that
made
type
that
of
up.
social
that's a
dynamic.
good question, brother, and I'm gonna
Made
keep
that
it
up.
short. That's a good
You just
question.
made
He's
it
These
just
up.
making
Pan
up
Woman,
Africans
shit.
can't
He's
even
saying
they
hold
can't
on,
even
infusion.
hold on, hold
speak in
on. Can I
layman's
please answer the
terms.
brother? Wilmington, North Carolina was an infusion city. Alexander Manley,
I've never
right?
heard of
You
infusion
You
before,
just made it
Willie.
up, man.
I mean,
Ain't no
so
what Burkina
bro,
infusion
Faso is
cities,
saying
man.
that you guys were given two
hold
options:
No, well,
on,
hold
bro.
whether
on,
to
guy, hold
Respectfully.
on,
integrate
Willie,
or to
Willie,
separate.
You know he don't get no
guy,
When
he
we
don't
one,
get
talking
no
one,
about
coochie out there.
Nigeria, I
it's
don't
He
the
don't
want to
get
host
no
talking.
object.
coochie.
It's the
Please.
host talking. Willie, you got 30, you got 40 seconds explaining the
Thank you.
fusion city.
So let's be clear. Integration wasn't the
Hey
only
yo,
model.
sugar, let me tell you about the
Willie,
fusion
explain
cities.
Infusion City. Infusion
Right.
City, go.
Integration wasn't
You
the
just
only
made it
model.
up.
Infusion city. An example of an infusion city would be Wilmington, North Carolina. In Wilmington, North Carolina, Alexander Manley had the bag. This was a black man that had black newspapers, black businesses. Literally, the black people in Wilmington, North Carolina were doing so well that white business owners wanted to advertise in Alexander Manley's black paper. Now, Google the rest of what happened on why that city was burned to
No.
the
But why
ground.
is that model considered infusion though?
That was what was considered the model. So infusion was just putting whites and blacks in the same
Willie, you
town.
making this shit up, Willie.
You
Stop.
just made
No,
Hold
Yeah,
on,
it's this
hold
it's
on,
this
hold on,
Oh,
YouTube
Lord.
hold
stuff,
on, hold
man.
on,
This
hold on.
YouTube new age.
Please, please,
Willie making this
please.
shit up.
If
Infusion.
I'm gonna be
Willie,
Yo,
criticized
Pan
for
infusion.
Africanism
lying,
wasn't that bad.
hold
Okay, all
on,
right.
Until
hold on.
YouTube
If
came
I'm gonna
around, I
be
swear.
criticized for lying, let me land the plane. I challenge the entire chat. Google Alexander Manley. You will find Infusion City in that argument. This city was burned. This city was burned to the.
So
Willie, man.
Incinerated
integrated,
cities.
we could
Oh,
replace
Lord.
infusion with
Why you cut your
integrated, right?
Oh,
eyebrows like
Willie
Puerto
not
Rican
Most of
smoking
pie?
some
y'all
shit
will
and can't
only
even talk.
say, what is it, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Most of y'all will only say Tulsa. That's because you
You
don't
tight
know.
jean wearing Caribbean tether. Shut the
Hey,
hell
yo,
up.
bro.
Get out
No,
of
but
my
Hey,
no,
crib.
yeah,
People
hold
out
on,
here need to stop that
hold on, hold
nonsense.
on. Hey, hold on,
never
wait.
mind.
You
Infusion
do got a
City.
Never
point
mind.
with that because
See,
I'm from
everybody want to be
Tulsa.
dumb.
Wait,
This
hold
when
up,
I
cuz.
go
Hey,
back
hold
in
up,
my
cuz.
Kool-Aid
Hey, hold
This
up,
bag.
cat
cuz.
wearing
I'm gonna just
sandals
go
in New
play
York
golf.
City right now.
Hey, bro, chill out. I'm about
24
to.
degree
You
weather.
Negroes can do
Hey,
what you
chill
need to
out.
do.
I'm about to substantiate you, homie. I'm
Come
from
on,
North
bro.
Tulsa. All
Oh,
right,
Willie.
you're right. People only bring up Black Wall Street, and I've
Thank
been
you.
wondering to hear from another black person from America who's from one of
Thank
them
you.
other towns. It happened like 85 other towns, right? But the
But
thing is, as a culture,
Roshi,
culture, black
Roshi,
people
my
don't
question
talk
is,
about it.
Roshi, my question is it called an infusion city?
Infusion,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, fuck no, ain't no
Yes.
fucking infusion with these Peckerwoods. No Tulsa.
Yes.
Nigga, you
Hold on.
crazy. You
Integration
saying
was
Black Wall
not.
Street was
Hold
an
on.
infusion
Hold on. Hold
city?
on. This the important important part, right? Integration.
Willie now smoking some shit that got me
See, but
every
you
night.
Africans is gonna
You
talk
know
over
what they
me, and
make
I'm a
like
Pan African.
these
So you
wild
gonna
Pan
make me
Africans. You
crash
know how
with
they
high
make Infusion
caste.
shit. They make it
Because you
seem like
want
it's
to
the
talk
rats
about
of
my
Nim. You ever
history
watch the
over
rats,
me.
the Secret of
You
Nim?
don't know my history.
That's what they make it seem like. Like there's some
So I was trying to
underground.
share my history. Right?
Bro,
So
y'all wildin'. Cut it out.
hold on.
And the one thing I'm not hearing is
Give me a
white
second,
people
my
was
brother.
lynching black people. White people was mass murdering black people. That's the one thing you're not talking about.
So
The
this
same
is
thing
what
happened in
happened with
Africa.
this
We
infusion
saw in
city I'm
Congo they was
talking
chopping
about.
off. Well, King Leopold killed millions of people. You talking about why we want to be in? Why do you want to still be in
Never
Africa?
mind.
after what they done done to you over there.
The
I done
chat
read
could
that
just Google it.
the
Infusion
Yoruba
cities.
still
Google
has
it.
slavery going on in Nigeria until the
To this very
1920s,
day.
and the
To this
British
very
let it
day.
Yo,
happen. And this
brother
guy
M,
say, why you still want to be in America? Why you still want to be in Africa?
brother
I
M,
say to the chat, just
brother
To this
M.
day.
you want to know what
To this
an
very
infusion
day.
Hold
city
up.
was,
All
right?
the talk about
It's
your
crazy.
this shows that you see
Yeah, brother
white
M.
Yo,
You
Dynasty.
guys are the subject right now.
The
hold up,
Bible
wait a minute, wait a
out
minute,
there in
wait a minute,
Nigeria,
wait a minute.
he be
Wait
selling
a minute.
Dynasty,
Hey,
can I
slaves
get
I'm
back
for
to
not
my
done.
point?
$500 to the
I'm
Arabs.
not done. I'm not done, motherfucker.
But
The
wait,
Congo is
brother,
not
I'm
the
cutting you
subject.
off, bro.
Hey,
You
I'm
guys
not
are the
done.
subject
Willie, why
tonight.
aren't you done, Willie?
Pataki, I'm not done. All right, look.
Why you not
All the
done?
talk about infusion. This shows that you put whiteness as some type of additive positive into the situation. What is so important about infusion that we should be proud about or whatever as a culture or something? Why are you bringing that up as if
That's a
these
great
cracker woods
question.
are a plus?
That's a great
And let me
question,
just add
right?
this. You know,
Hold on, Tunisia, hold on.
hold on. I've not said anything
Hold
for a
on.
while.
That was a great question,
Hold on.
right?
Let Tunai just
It's just
talk.
a waste of time, man. Just a waste of
I've
Ain't no
not said
let
conversation.
anything for a
Tunisia
while.
Give people
talk
a
about
chance to
Black
talk.
American history. Ain't no let him talk. When we
Why?
talking
He
about
might
Nigeria,
he
he
might
can
have some.
talk.
I
Right?
talk
Hey,
about
who's the
Nigeria.
host of the show?
Nigerian
I need my turn to add on. I need to
Hey,
I need
yo,
my
Dynasty,
turn to
I ain't get
add
to
on.
I
finish
talk
my
about
point.
Africa all the time.
You guys
I
called
want to talk
Nigeria.
about
You
I
called
want to talk
Nigeria
about
a twin.
America.
No, wait, Dynasty, are you saying I'm lying?
Hold on. Go ahead, too, Nigel.
Yeah, you know this thing that you guys do about
I challenge the whole chat.
Mountain.
Google infusion.
Calm
One
down
second.
now.
Tell me if I'm lying.
Hold on. Willie, you Google it, Willie, and put it in the private chat. Go ahead, too, Nigel.
Yeah, you keep saying some of these people they just talk negatively about Africa. Oh, you do slavery, you do
This
all
ain't
that.
about Africa, bro.
Okay, so let me finish what I'm saying. Can you
come on.
listen for a second? See, after the Epstein file release, I'm not sure anybody or any of you should be saying any of that anymore because almost everything you want to accuse Africans of, they are doing it and worse.
So,
So
Dynasty,
the
call me
idea
a liar
they are
and
doing
let him
it.
change the
All these people,
conversation to the
most of you,
Come on, man.
most of you that are so proud. Like America is some kind of a country on a hill or whatever they call it. You forget that these people are also depraved like crazy. You like to abuse Africans, but they are very, very depraved, and some of them even hunt some of us for sports. So till today, and you guys just act as if you don't realize that, and you just keep maligning your own home. And
So
the
you've
people
never
that you are
encountered a
describing,
Black
hold on,
American
the people you are describing are
hold up.
continent
You've never
killers.
encountered an anti-American Black American?
No, there are many of them, of
No,
course.
no,
But
no,
my
no.
point is that
Have you ever
You got some on the
encountered
panel.
an
Oh man,
anti-American Black
I just.
American?
Well, I'm gonna
yeah,
give you some water. I'll
I
be
have.
back.
You have.
I have, yes.
And that and
See,
is that the average sentiment of the Black American that you encounter outside of FBA? Because y'all got FBA focused like crazy, whatever, and y'all wasn't focused on niggas like that until FBA. So it's like
You're gonna get charged $10, bro. Don't say that word.
You can't use N word here, sir. Stop using N word.
Host, let me add on.
I can't.
The host will charge
Hold
you
on.
$10.
God, well, my hey. So
use what?
I'm gonna give you a warning. It's a $10 tariff if you use the N word, but you got a warning.
Oh,
If I use the N word, I mean, hold up, cuz you talking to a whole
you got a
field nigga
warning,
then,
bro.
homie.
Host, let me add on.
Hold up, I'll send you your 10. I'll send you your 10. I'll send you your 10.
Listen to.
I'm saying that.
Okay. So hold on. So guys, stop. So it's a $10 tariff.
Yeah.
Here's the Cash App. Here's the Cash App in the chat. I just put the Cash App on the screen. That's the Cash App. Once you pay it, you can come back on.
All right.
Thank you, sir. May I add on now? Host, may I add on?
The rest on insulting Africans constantly about all kinds
Yeah,
of
I
stuff.
agree on that. I agree with you on that. I
The
agree.
West is just as bad.
Host, may I add on?
It's not gonna help us. It's not gonna take us anywhere. Insulting one another. We need to.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
And when we talk about it, if we're going to talk about it, we should talk about it in a informative way and nuanced way,
right?
In the right
Yeah.
time, because this is not the right time. I think there's much more important things to talk about, like for example, Africa Command meeting with Ghana yesterday or day before yesterday, and then a day or two before that, having some type of security agreements with Burkina Faso. So Ghana's meeting with Burkina Faso, having these agreements for security and formal agreements, and then a few days later they're meeting with Africa Command.
You know,
That message is messed up. What are we talking
And
about
also,
here?
That's what it is.
Sure. And also, they got Iran. They got Iran in Burkina Faso. I think Iran is willingly, happily to help Burkina Faso. And also, the funny thing is, I saw the British.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
too.
That's a power move. That's a power move.
Yeah, that's a
But
big move. That's a big
still,
move. Big move.
Still
Big move.
have Nigeria doing what they're doing, which is, you know, is very
Embarrassment.
concerning. It has
Very.
been captured.
Your concern is not going to change things.
It capitulates to
will.
the Western world. No, it's. I mean, we're talking about it. So,
Everyone, Rogishi's son has paid his $10 tariff. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
If you want to use the N word, you can pay more. It doesn't matter. Just pay.
No. I can respect that, but this is something cultural that y'all need to understand, though, for real. Just because you have your view on it, that's not a Black American view. You feel me? That's your own personal culture. That ain't got nothing to do with that history.
Get out of my country.
It's the same, sir. We all the same. This is for both African and Black Americans. This is for everybody.
It's the smoking gun. It's the
smoking gun.
And it make all y'all run. It make all y'all
for everybody.
Get out of my country.
It make these Peckerwood scared. It make y'all scared. Y'all don't want to deal with that reality.
Get out of my country.
This is for all of us, sir. This is for all of us.
Talk on it like you got solutions.
Stop hitting on Africans. Start hitting on Africans.
Can I help Mr. Castle? Mr. Castle, do you know what happened in the UK when I came here? The Black British, the Black British that was born here, those that came here in the 50s, 60s, that's how exactly they used to be like towards Africans. Oh, you're a dirty African, you eat monkey, a monkey soup, you this, that. If they see you out in clubs, they start bullying you, they start linking up with the white man, ganging up on white boys. They even wait for, they used to wait for our kids outside the schools and team up on them and beat them up, right? And then the system changed, okay? The system changed. They started targeting the Black British. They started targeting the Black British. The Black British here were targeting the Somalis in my city, okay? And today the Black British are wishing there's more Somalis come in the city so they have more numbers. So the reality is, don't play their games, bro, because that will come back and haunt you one day. Like what you're saying about African seeds, African that, it doesn't matter, yeah? Yeah, I see Jamaican and listen, this city I live, Jamaican and Somalis war. They war over this city, and the Somalis won the battle. Even though the Jamaican were more of the native, the white people's side went against them and brought laws and actually deport them. Even those that were born here got sent back to Jamaica. You have some people that have been in this country, generation after generation. They come out, they went to prison, and they never seen the daylight. They got sent back to Jamaica, and they're never allowed to come back in this country. So be careful what you wish for, bro. We need some form of unity. Not coming here insulting one another.
You can't even start off with
and the funny is,
the born here with documents, with passport, their parents born here.
Go ahead, Willie.
Get your paperwork.
Willie's asking me a question. Go ahead, Willie.
So, Dinus, when you said that infusion cities weren't a thing, right? I want to
Willie, just put the link in the chat room, man. Put the link in the chat room. I'm not Willie.
I did.
Nobody ever heard our war infusion.
Put it in the private chat.
I want to respond to what Africa said.
I'm still talking.
Go ahead.
Willie, put the link in the private chat. Put the link in the private chat, please.
So what I did was simply put the simple AI overview. You can
Willie.
No. If you want me to, you want me to just find an individual link.
The private chat.
Motivated.
We're moving on. Go ahead, Em. Ask a question, Em.
Yeah. He just said something really interesting. How the British blacks was pretty much Caribbeans sided with the white people. And then a white man turned on them and deported them. This is exactly what we're talking about in America. All these people sided with them white people, the Latinos, the Africans, and then as soon as they went and voted, talk about we're going to vote for Trump. And they the first ones got it. The same thing he said happened. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. All the people side up them white people, all them Africans, all the Caribbeans.
No. Why Africa? You didn't understand him. Why he's saying that?
I'm not
African went
generalizing.
to,
I'm just saying, like in general, the ones that I'm saying that's negative, that's talking down, talking about how come we don't have ownership. I was going to say this a few days ago. Do you know the president of Nigeria, the current president of Nigeria? I heard, I think somebody said that his family was part of the slave trade, and Dinah said that he changed his name, right? So I looked him up. I researched him. Do you know this dude went to Chicago State University, a historical black college, like a mile away from where Obama went to his church?
Yes,
and this guy is the president of Nigeria. He went to Chicago State.
Sir. It's
and
old
the
news.
reason, look, the reason I'm bringing this up is Chicago State, the South Side, Roseland area don't see no type of benefit from him. Even though he got his education and he's not putting nothing back.
He was doesn't do anything. He work in this country. He went to school. He worked his ass off.
Same thing with Kwame.
He got his education here
From Lincoln University.
One mic. Can we have a Freddie 791? Are you a female? I put the Ivy had asked for the link. I put the link in the chat room. She didn't click on it. So, when I put the link in the chat room, you guys got to click on it. So if a female wants to come on, you're more than welcome to come on. Again, guys, I put the link in the chat room. Whoever clicks on it gets on. Peace Age Rides 1559. Thank you for that. I'm reading the money right now, Willie. You got to be quiet. Peace Age Rides 1559. Thank you for the $10 holla. Freddie 791. Thank you for the $20 holla. Hello, Diners. Can we have a female point of view? People hit likes, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I put the link in the chat room. They're more than welcome to click on it.
Dennis, can I speak now?
Chicago thing, because see, we've known about this. This was a very controversial.
Can I speak now, Sean, please?
No, I just want to say I haven't been. Come on, let me interject right quick. It's about Tanibu.
Hold on, Dinus, did
so
you get the link for
Willie, come
dropped?
on, Willie. Golly. So Tanibu, the current president, was found to have been selling heroin on a very large level in Chicago. Even there's question about him actually attending and really going to school there, that he actually paid his way through there. And then he was investigated by the FBI. This young brother sued to be able to get records of him because he was becoming the president. They got all of this information on him, and they won the lawsuit, and they start to release the documents about him, and the FBI had investigated him and was going to extradite him back to the United States, but he paid $400,000 and was able to get out of that and also become the president. So that means he is very much likely an agent for the CIA. And now we look at his actions and what he's doing. Yeah, he's an agent. And look at his actions, what he's doing, what he's actually doing right now. He's destroying the country. He's becoming what's the word for it? Subservient to the Western world, France, and United States. And this is what Tanibu is. And he might be related to, they say he's related to Madame Tanibu, who was a slave seller.
Right.
All right, guys, let me real quick. So this is the link that Willie put in the chat room. This is correct. Willie, stop trolling. All right, let me put Uda on the go. Uda on the go. Go ahead.
So you
Uda on the go. Go ahead.
To claim
salute. I'm here. Salute the conversation building. I don't want to disturb it.
Come on,
I'm gonna get into the conversation. Everybody, salute.
Go ahead, Uda. Go ahead, Uda.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't want to disturb the bill we building, brother. Y'all get ahead.
Well, why you click on the link, Uda, if you're not going to add to the conversation? Why click on the link?
I can add to the conversation at any time, brother. I'm not chasing.
This is your time.
Yeah. I don't get that. Like, don't click on the link if you're not going to add to the conversation. Passport King, go ahead.
Okay.
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to speak real quickly on the disrespect of the American flag and trying to disrespect U.S. slavery descendants, whether we go by freedmen, FBA, DOS, ADOS, or SOULAAN, and trying to clown us for respecting and representing our flag. Let me hit, because it's clear that, I'm not saying all, but there's definitely some of y'all that don't have an understanding of U.S. history. And this is, let me give you something you can verify immediately. grow here. If you look up the civil rights movement, you're gonna see that Black American Negroes, many times when they was protesting, marching, what was they holding up?
RBG.
Holding no red, black, and green. They wasn't holding up any potpourri of colors. They wasn't holding up no foreign African flags. They held up the flag that our people bled for. Our
They
people
did hold
have
up the
fought in every
RBG.
war.
Wait a
Hold
minute.
on,
They
hold
had
on,
up
hold
the
on.
RBG.
We fought in every war in this country, from the American Revolution. We fought for our own freedom in the Civil War. But many of you Black immigrants, not all, but many of you, y'all have a very warped sense or misunderstanding of U.S. history. Y'all think that something was just given to us. Nothing was given to us in the United States. We have fought for and continue to fight for everything we got. And other people, including Black immigrants, come in and benefit. And then y'all have the nerve to want to disrespect us while y'all cosplaying as us, getting benefits of us. And the Somalis, a slight sidebar but related. The Somalian scamming in Minnesota.
Can I answer to him after?
Hold on, that's only one.
Nah, don't interrupt them, man. Shit.
We found out last year about this 6-region scam from the African Union, where they was basically trying to use the history of Black Americans and trying to claim us as if we are somehow citizens of the African Union to scam money from the UN, the United States, and other countries. And when we started asking questions and putting pressure on it, I'm not saying it went away totally, but it seemed like they kind of backed off of it. And for those of y'all who want to talk about what we own or what we don't own or build, the modern world that y'all take for granted would not be possible without Black Americans, because somehow y'all got in your minds that we only created hip hop. The modern world, when I say the modern world, I mean things like modern blood banks, Dr. Charles Drew, modern EMS, the Freedom House from Chicago, the light bulb, Lewis Latimer, the traffic light, the gas mask. I mean, things that make the modern world that people every day take for granted. And that's just a few of 50,000. And I'm going to land my plane there. So y'all not going to disrespect the American flag. You want to be in our country, you want to benefit, and then you want to clown us? No, y'all not going to destiny swap. Y'all not going to gaslight us to go over to Africa or the Caribbean, and then you all come over here and then we're suffering where y'all don't want to be. You don't like the American flag? Get the hell out of the United States. That's
Don't
what I want.
speak for African Americans, brother. Because
I'm talking. So real quick. So guys, so I only have 10 spots at a time on this panel. So when I put the link in the chat room and you click the link and I pass the mic to you to speak, if you're not ready to speak, you're just taking up a spot for somebody else. Like, I wasn't being disrespectful, Uda. I said, hey, go ahead. And you were like, no, y'all building. Then I said, hey, go ahead. It's your turn. You can speak. And then you repeated the same thing. So it's like, okay, well, why are you on the panel if you don't want to add anything? Because again, I only have 10 spots. So again, when you click on the link and I say, hey, go ahead and add to the build. If you're not ready to build, just let somebody else come on. It's not personal. But go ahead, CD.
All right. So let me respond to
I
the
just
guy
wanted
who
to
just
answer.
spoke.
No, I said CD.
Yeah.
I
So
said CD.
my response to the guy who just spoke that Africans come here, they take opportunity and things like that, or African disrespect you guys. It's almost like no matter what, there's certain people that will speak certain thing about African American. That doesn't necessarily mean that all Africans on YouTube know what is going on or disrespecting African Americans, right? And the whole thing is, if you build, then you have ownership. If you don't build, then everybody fight for whoever builds something, try to get that, right?
The issue is that all of that would be a redo.
Hey man, let him finish.
And we have a history of building that y'all don't want to fucking acknowledge.
Let him finish.
Let me finish.
Sound like he gonna sell us into slavery.
So when someone builds something, then everybody fight for it. It's almost like the platform that we're on right now. Dennis built this platform. He built his tourist company. And when we come on the platform, he's the owner of this platform. He can decide who can speak, who can't speak, right? And he can tell you there's restriction. You can't call N-words on this platform. So the white man who provide 99.9% of the job, when African appear for job, when African American appear for job, they don't ask you whether you're indigenous American or you're FBA. I would tell you most likely they will hire Africans when they know you're African compared to African American. It doesn't necessarily mean that they'll cut down salary because of that, but I would tell you that when you guys decide, say, well, on the job application, they should put FBA/African Americans, and they know the difference between African and African American, it's most likely African will be higher, right? And that's a fact. So it's in the advantage for Africans for us to keep the group separate. Let me finish, sir. So
Could you take that bushmeat out your mouth before you start speaking again?
Shut up. Let him talk, man.
Golly.
It's to African advantage if there's a separation. Because we know definitely sometime when you apply for job, it's illegal for someone, for the employers. It's illegal for employers to ask whether you African or African American, right? But if they know that the African, they will take chances of you compared to African American. And I've experienced it. I have experienced it several times. So even when I'm looking at the job application and see African American, I panic, right? But then I panic. But in the job interview,
I gotta pass.
Yeah, I was saying the way that the person will know that I'm African.
Go ahead, Afro. Hey, my brother. Hey, how did you feel about the State of the Union address last night?
Oh man, it was amazing. The great white hope Donald Trump cooked. Ilhan Omar coming from that shithole country, and he cooked the Democrats, exposed them. They refused to stand for this great nation, and the Democrats are done. It was a great speech, and I'm hearing about these FBAs. Here's what they are doing. They want to feel relevant by thinking that Africans are checking them out. They've been talking about this delineation. It's not real. They know that Africans separate themselves from them. The same white man that they are here talking against, they get to go to the white man. The white man gives them jobs. You notice they keep saying, they set this aside for us. They didn't build anything. It is up to the white man to choose who to give it to. So because you have the same skin color as them, they think, you are in the same category with them. I came here by plane, not by ship. So our histories are not the same. America, this constitution is the greatest constitution on this side of heaven. That's what I go by. I don't go by no FBA this, FBA that. If you believe you've built something, don't tell me about it. I don't care. Go live on what you built. No African is coming to you. They keep saying reparation. You see the Somalis, they are not even asking. They are demanding reparation. And FBA, they're crying, why is the Somalis demanding it? They're not demanding it from you. You have nothing to give to them. And I agree with CD, what CD just said about saying the delineation favors Africans 100%, because it's illegal for employer to ask you if you're African or Black American. But if this distinction is very clear, there's clear line, it works in Africans' favor, because most employers prefer African, because the African is going to show up on time. They're not going to keep complaining. Okay. They're not going to make, victimhood claims about racism, sexism, and all this stuff. And it's crazy to live here in America, in the greatest country on this side of heaven. If you don't like America, myself coming from Africa, you think I care? I didn't come here for you. If you don't like it, find a place that you think is suitable for you and excuse us, from this country. You're whining and crying. None of us care about it. If you, how come you're not going? How come you're not going to the other immigrants? There are the Chinese here, Russians.
How come y'all are being deported?
Hold on, let me finish, sir. I'm an American. In case you can't tell,
you could get deported too.
Sir, I'm an American. Well, I didn't.
That's not true. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, because you think Africans are the easy target. We are not easy target. We don't want anything to do with you. Keep going. Cry to the white man. Since you said that's who owe you reparation, we cannot get a reparation. We weren't slaves. We are not making any claims. The Somalis are making claims to get reparation. Okay, they are demanding it. In fact, you see, you should learn from the Somalis. But what I see is you guys are a bunch of weak people. You just want to make noise. You want to come to us Africans to seek therapy. It's like a therapy.
What?
You talk about things you know nothing about. You have no jobs to give.
I hear an
You
accent.
hold on. Sorry, let me finish. You have no.
Stop interrupting him. Just let him talk, man.
No. I just asked a question.
Hold on.
Don't interrupt the man.
Don't
Don't
finish,
interrupt
man.
the man. Stop.
Let me
Give us
finish.
therapy if you.
Let me
Don't
finish.
interrupt the man.
All you have no jobs to give. No African is coming to you for jobs, housing, or anything. You can't even have places to rent to anyone. So like an African can literally live here and not, associate with you, and they would do wonderful, great. That's a fact. So you are deluding yourself.
Good little boy.
You're deluding yourselves, thinking that Africans need you. You notice the other people talking to you, Tunaja and Al being nice, they don't live here because they don't know you guys. I do. I've been living here for a long time. I have worked as a corrections officer. I've worked as in pharmacy. Now I have my own business, and I've hired some FBAs, and I've fired them because they don't show up on time or do their job properly. You keep crying. Africans, what I'm going to tell you, keep grinding. Let these people keep crying. They are beggars and victims. That's the position they assume, and that's where they're going to remain. We Africans,
and that's why you're in this country, because you're
because this country is the greatest country on this side of heaven. I embrace, sir. That doesn't matter. I embrace.
You embrace massa.
I embrace this country. Okay.
No, where are you from?
I'm from America.
It doesn't matter. He's an American citizen. He's an American citizen.
I am an American citizen. Does it matter?
You're a coon.
An American citizen
in America. You're an African coon in America.
You see this hat?
Hold on. Guys, hold on. Aphrodite, tell us about the hat. Tell us about the hat.
You see the hat? Make America great again. This is our great nation. You see this? You see this? You see this? You see the flag behind me? You see the flag that I fly, and you see the hat? This is how I roll. This is how I roll. So you FBAs, look, here's the thing. Africans that are here, right? You have CD and other CD, you have a right to vote. When this reparation thing, if it ever comes, which will never happen, if it does, let these people cry. You know who to vote for. Vote wisely, okay?
And you see, we have coons on both sides.
Yeah,
we have coons on the American side. We got coons on the African side.
And in fact, I'm gonna write a letter to the Great White Hope, Trump, to let him know, there are these, extremist blacks, so they can put you guys in the terror list, because you guys are un-American. You do not respect respect, what America is built on. You don't know how to live. Hold on. You don't know. You don't have the IQ to operate properly in a civilized society. If you don't like it, you're gonna get sent to
That's
sea
crazy, man.
You're gonna get sick. Look, you guys are un-American. You don't know what America stands for.
What are you talking about, man? We know what America's hypocrisy. That's what it stands for.
Okay, then leave America. Go
I
elsewhere.
am.
We don't
Very
care
soon.
about. We don't care about you, what you cry about.
What you mean, we, man?
Like
you been over here 50 years max, man. And you already drinking the coon Kool-Aid.
Look, if
you
don't
already
like
drinking the coon Kool-Aid.
If you don't like it, leave.
Because they destabilize where you are. Now you got to come over here.
Yeah.
Now you got to come over here and form some semblance of pride.
You see this hat?
Now you got to form some semblance of pride.
Hold on. Hey, Aphrodite, tell us about the hat. Go ahead.
Make America great again. I voted for Trump 3 times. Make America great again. You see this? So for those of you who don't know, if you can get on the program,
I want to ask something to Aphrodite.
Hold on. No. Aphrodite is Michelle. Aphrodite, you done? Aphrodite, you done?
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
It's not a lot of time I agree with Aphrodite. It's not a lot of time I agree with
I want to ask you a question.
It's Michelle's turn. Go ahead, Michelle.
Good evening, panel. Long time, Mr. Aphrodite. How you doing over there? Was it Seattle? Yeah, you there with the great, with white people.
Yeah, I'm
so, but the issue.
Am I next, Dynast?
God, Brookie, let her finish, y'all. Goodness, let her finish.
The issue, the reason why I have respect for FBA, SOULAAN, and so forth is because it is a lineage base, and then my only concern with it is not organized enough to address the hierarchy of needs we as Black people need in America. Again, going back and forth with you, honestly, and others is a waste of time. Again, making people from developing worlds respect America is a waste of time. Black people need off the surface. People should respect you as soon as they see you. There's no questions asked, no discussion. I think we as Black people give too many grace. Period. Number 2, I wish we as Black people were more organized, because guess what? Immigration officers, ICE officers, Black people should own and control those departments in the government. Off the bat, you Black, you understand this is where you're going to do and this is what you're going to be to secure our identity and secure our future. My issue with us as Black people, my biggest concern with Black people with us right now is if we're going to stand by FBA, ADOS, SOULAAN, what are we doing to continue it? Are we in another 100 years? Are we still going to be Black people? That's my biggest issue, because now somebody like you, Aphrodite, is going to come here, impregnate a white girl. That child is going to be a problem to my children next 2 generations down. So this is our biggest issues as Black people. It's people like Aphrodite and the back and forth of who did what, who did this. To me, it's nonsensical. We need to focus on our survival as a people. That's my biggest issue right now. That's why FBA, ADOS, I support on a certain level, because my only issue, are we going to use this to continue our survival as a people in this country, period?
Them FBA, ADOS people love swirling too.
I gotta ask Aphrodite a question for Aphrodite. Are you chasing the snow bunnies in Seattle? Are you?
Look, all I dabble in is snow. Snow all over me. Okay, and I know Michelle talking about impregnating. I don't need to do that. I already got my mixed babies. Okay, that's what matters. All right, and guess what?
Y'all are cool, man.
And guess what? They are American.
That's too much, bro.
Very cool, man.
They are as American as apple pie. You can't do anything about that. Okay.
So, you're cool, man.
And for the rest of us, those generations from now.
No. You are in your lane. I'm in my lane. I do not go to the ghetto. You must know this, okay?
Let me tell you something. Where the hell I am? You in a tractor trailer.
Look, I stay away from the ghetto. So you don't have to worry.
I wanted to ask you a question. A lot of FBAs are cooking railways.
And here's the thing. what I did, Michelle said one thing. Michelle said one thing. Here's the thing I did, right? I served my time. I gave my time to make sure I went and worked in the criminal justice system to clean up the environment of Black criminals. That's what I did. Okay.
Thank you, Afrodamus. Yes. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I did my part.
Dennis, can I ask him something?
Here. So,
yes, you can. Let Afrodamus finish. Bukit Pay. Go ahead.
Yo, Afrodamus, like I saw you showed the hat, like make America great again. So my question is, okay?
Yeah.
The monkey pictures of Michelle and Barack Obama, is that the greatness you want to be part of?
Yes.
The Barack Obama picture, the monkey picture that was released.
If you look at the video, do you think that Obama is a monkey?
But are you a proud monkey?
Do you think he's a monkey?
He's not serious, and don't
look, bro. He got babies with white. He got babies with white people. He said so. That don't matter, bro.
Do you think Obama and Michelle, they are monkeys?
But how about you, though?
Because in the video, I see human beings. In the video, Trump was a lion. AOC was a donkey. You have Hakeem Jeffries. He was a meerkat. Biden was a monkey too. So do you people as Blacks see yourselves as monkeys? That's my question. Deep down, do you think you are monkeys? That's why you are offended? Like, why are you offended? Why are you offended?
No, what's offensive is these people historically.
If you look at it, the monkeys, especially in Africa, are actually very capable. They're not begging for food. Nobody's giving them anything. The humans, most of them are begging. So how can one downgrade monkeys? If they call you a monkey, that's an upgrade. Thank you.
Like you fled your own country and didn't build your own country to
yes,
come over here
and I chose
for a job.
I chose the right country. Yes,
you need to build your own country up.
I chose the right country.
Don't fall into that, brother. Don't fall into that, brother.
I chose the right country. Yeah,
that's emotional.
Not all brothers from Africa think like him. He's one that thinks that way.
Don't tell them to build their own country because he said he was a white girl. That's not his disposition. He's just trying to get money.
Let me say this.
I am building a lot of brothers. Look at it.
A lot of brothers come from the continent. We are making
our country great again. You see this?
No, I don't see it,
brother. It great again. That's
brother, right. We don't care about your hat, and we don't care about your.
We are making this great again.
Why do so the point that I'm making is that he becomes a trope.
Bro, shut up! You hear him talking, man.
Bro.
You hear him talking, bro. Shut up.
Thank you. Jesus.
Asia, South America, they pretend to be Black Americans, but they
so I will
shut
the fuck up and let you talk. Go ahead and talk. You want to be honest? You want to be heard? Go ahead.
No, I just want to ask him a quick question.
No. What do you mean, no?
Okay, here's the question. You can answer
Go ahead.
Why did the same Black immigrants who act superior with Black Americans and talk about you're superior, I work so hard, but everywhere else in the world, whether it be Asia, Europe, Latin America, and I traveled a lot, y'all cosplay and pretend to be Black Americans. Explain that paradox to me, please.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Wait, you don't understand the question?
You exhibit the same behavior he do. You just on a different spectrum.
No. That's
you came on here champion America too, bro. You the same coon, so it's just the same thing.
You got coons on both sides.
You just a coon, bro. So no, you get no play neither.
And that's what needs to be brought out in this conversation.
Wait, this is the reason why I was saying earlier in the UK. When I growing up, we had the same problem. Like we have Jamaicans, literally, and Somalis killing each other over here. Okay, and we have kids waiting for African kids outside their school because they're African getting targeted. This is how messed up the Black community have been in the global world today. You know, the reality is we need to look at each other. We need to look at the mirror and see what we're doing to each other. This needs to stop. At the end of the day, you know, it's not going to help anybody. This is not going to help anyone.
But we have to do more than say that we need to stop. We need to identify what the psychology is behind it And a lot of times the psychology behind it, the psychology behind it is that we're not educated. We don't know who we are. We don't know, in a lot of cases, we don't know the condition that we're in or where we are. And we definitely don't know the time it is, meaning what is really going on right now today in the political environment, in the social environment. We're just going to work and we're reacting to shit like on a stage right now. We're reacting to things. And I think that that's what these kinds of conversations is for, and what Dynas provides a platform for us to discuss those things. But if we don't refer to the people who study those things, because they spend their life studying the psychology of us as a people. That's what Afrocentrism is.
I agree. This is exactly what's happening in my city today. It's only Africans remain in the city. Most of the Caribbeans who used to call themselves Black British, who used to call us all kind of names, mimic us, attack us. Most of them, half of them, been deported back to the Caribbeans. And when I go to the barber shop, the few Black British I know, they're like, "Oh God, it's a good thing that we still have some African and Somali community here, because we got shops, we got businesses, we got some of them that got homes we can rent." It's the same thing in London, in Peckham. Okay, you still got like Nigerians and Sierra Leoneans who are actually homeowners who can rent their homes to other Black people. And we need to. That's what I'm saying earlier. We need to work together if we can. We're much more better than working against each other, because this public dispute is not going to help us. It's
and
not.
the example is Africa. I'm not continuing. The example is in New York. In New York too, right? In Harlem, if you look at Harlem historically,
So Nigeria, you come after.
It was a Black neighborhood, right? When I came to Harlem, it probably was 70% Black, 30% white. But now it's almost 60% white, 40% Black. And I will tell you, see, that 40%, maybe 30% is African, right? So let us say if a no African that came to Harlem, you won't find a Black people in the street of Harlem. So if you see,
that's because the cost of a lot of Black people are moving down south just because in the inner city the cost of living are preposterous and you're not getting a bang for your buck.
That's the same thing we're saying. That's what if
no, but again, it's more conducive strategically for Black people to move down south.
But Shabaki, because what's interesting about Harlem though, there's still the large Senegalese community that's still there.
Yeah, that's little Senegal out there.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. So if they can resist to live here, that's good for the Black culture. That's good for the Black identity, right? This Malcolm X Boulevard right here. I live right by Malcolm X Boulevard. There's Martin Luther King Boulevard here. The Apollo, where Michael Jackson and all of these guys need to perform. You hardly find Black people, right? But if you see 5 Black people walking, maybe 4 is African. So that's good for the African identity. But right now, white people don't want to see Black people in Harlem. They have taken over.
No. Yeah, but brother, there's a reverse great migration occurring right now in terms of going back down south. But y'all's presence is good. I don't have no problem with it at all.
See, in my area, we never had a single African shop years ago. It was all Caribbeans, all owned and run by the Caribbeans. Okay, today we got 2 Senegalese shops. Okay, we got 1 Nigerian on the road, and we got loads of Somalis. And these shops were rented. The Somalis actually rent this shop to the other Africans, and the properties, because the Somalis bought the area as a group, and then they rent it to the other Africans so they could have their business, including the Nigerians and the Senegalese. And Tunaja might tell you about this kid that they call Damilelo Taylor in London, who was actually chased by Caribbean kids, coming from school, going home because he was African. He was brutally murdered in the street of London at the back of Peckham Library. These are the sort of things that we faced, when growing up in the UK, from the so-called Black British, and today they're nowhere to be found. That's what I'm saying to this FBA or our African American brothers. Let's be careful of what we wish for, because the table could turn around. And also, when you hear about the stabbing in London, the crimes, these are a lot of the African kids who feel like they have a lot of vengeance towards the Black Caribbean kids who are actually seeking vengeance today. So because now a lot of these neighborhoods, these young kids, the African kids who are born here, who was targeted by the Caribbeans or Black British, they feel like they have to pay back because of the way they were treated, and stuff like that. Let's stop this. This is dangerous.
Okay, I gotta read the super chat.
Yes,
Thank you for the 499 holla. Afro Diamonds is the Gambian Tariq Nasheed. The FBA Fan Club should be proud. Go ahead, Michelle. I know you want to ask something, Michelle.
I have an example I want to share. Because I work in human services. I have a situation right now. This young lady, she's in her mid-20s. She's living in her grandfather's house. She's not taking care of the father. This is the DC area. She brings her boyfriend in the house. Aunt tries to, how should I say, address it. It becomes a police case. So therefore, we're involved. This is the issue I have. She's not helping pay bills. You got an APS case on you because of you not neglecting your grandfather. This house potentially could be worth nearly $1 million. You got a dude in the house. You're not married. Even the dude, I see him. I'm like, I get so frustrated. You're not even smart enough to wife her up so you can have access to this property. Number two, you guys are not paying any bills. So you're going to lose this house in liens. So this is the concern I have as a Black person. Aunt tried to check the situation, became a police case. But guess what? As soon as the grandfather's dying, let's be real, he's dying. So for the next 2 years or two, what's going to happen when I'm going to drive by that house again, and it's going to be a whole nother demographic in that household. And this is what frustrates me as a Black person. You sitting here on a gold mine, but you and your boyfriend are living in this house and not seeing the future. And it just makes me want to scream. And we can't say nothing about it. We can't say nothing about it because the system doesn't allow us to address certain issues as a people.
So what's the moral to this story?
More to the story. This is why we're losing property. We're losing
the moral of the story is we need cultural reformation.
That's now
It has nothing to do with the
African
system.
people who kicking African American out of their neighborhood are the Chinese, the Indians, and the Mexicans.
She didn't. No, it's not. You didn't even sit her point. She's talking about that. She's
And
making
you're
a critique within African American culture, a subset of our culture.
Right. Well, definitely.
It had none of this. She's not saying nothing to us. No African.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I mean, but again, the system is not going to help us do nothing. We got to do it ourselves, bro. It's not. We're not getting no help from them.
I'll try to intervene.
I agree with you, Shabaka.
And we could be working together.
When it comes to the respect thing, people talking about don't nobody respect us. It's the truth. If we don't have no power, until we forcefully take power strategically, systematically within our own community, we're not finna get no respect from nobody, nowhere. That's just how the world operates.
Look,
it's just simple as that.
Hold on, we got to stop this slander against Black Americans. Y'all always.
I'm not slandering. This is a real life.
It ain't no slander, man. She talking about real life occurrence.
On Nigeria's panel.
If Black Americans are organized, trust me, Africans have
no. We're not organized at all.
Right. We could be organizing with the Africans. We could be organizing with continental Africans.
Absolutely, Asha. I agree.
The young man, I was trying to get a man to talk to him and say, "Hey, look, you're sitting here on a gold mine. Do the right thing. Get a job and pay the taxes so you guys don't lose this house. And guess what? And rent the basement. Rent the flipping basement." I have another story where this guy, he was living out of state, allowed his nephew to go stay in the house. Nephew just made it a party house. So the uncle had to get rid of everybody and sold the house because he lives out of state. He can't maintain the house. But then you want to know why we're homeless. You want to know why we're having all these problems. Again, that's why I get a little, I talk to Brandon a lot because it gets me upset because he's also dealt with similar situations. How are we going to move forward as a people when we have to address these internal issues? And that's why I get disappointed with FBA and so forth, because we need to address the internal issues within ourselves. And then we don't need our brothers from the diaspora chomping in on us, but maybe helping us.
Sounds like an organization to me where you get people in the community before, actually, but to be honest with you, this stuff started in the 80s and the 70s, right? And we could have been more proactive and in terms of organizing and educating our people about what's going to happen in the next 20 years, what's going to happen in the next 30 years. We're not doing that. And we could do that. And we used to do that. So I'm saying I can't say that there's no excuses, but at the same time, we're here now talking. And this is something that is the impetus for an organization that deals, because what's going to happen is every 30 years, we will be gentrified out of whatever area we are in. And there was a document that was released by a think tank, a white think tank in the United States to address the problem of racism. And they came up with 3 solutions. One was to teach, to make a mass education, public education that would teach about racism, and this would, deal with the problems of racism, teach in schools about it. The other solution to the problem was to gentrify Black communities every year. So whatever institutions they build and whatever home ownership that their little home ownership that may be there, all of the ones that were renting and didn't own or whatever, the people get older and they leave and they sell their houses, that we will be gentrified every 30 years. And that's the one that they chose. There was a third one. I can't remember what the third one was. But in my community, I grew up, we've been gentrified out of our community. And now we're living in this place called Stockton. I'm from East Palo Alto, California. We're living in this place in the I don't even know where it's inland somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And in another 30 years, we'll be gentrified out of there.
So sad.
This is
so
what I
sad.
was saying. This is what I was saying. These FBAs, it's like a therapy. They just want to complain to us about their white zaddies. Here's the thing, guys. Africans that are listening, you guys know this. We came here and found them here with their white masters. Let's let them hash it out with their white zaddy. If they want, housing, let them go to their white zaddies. If they want reparation, let them go over there.
So happy
we have a different contract. We have a different contract with America, which is we are naturalized. We love the Constitution. We love this country. Okay, so if you have, it sounds like you guys just want to, cry and tell us of your grievances you have. Let me finish. Let me finish. I did not interrupt. I did not interrupt. I did not interrupt.
Please stop speaking while he's speaking, brother. You look extremely emotional when you do this.
I did not. Let me finish. Let me finish. Here's the thing. It sounds like.
Bro, you can't help yourself, can you?
Finish.
It sounds like you guys, you want to tell us, the Africans, about your grievances. 1 minute you are excited that you finally reconnected with us. Another minute you are hating. It's like a child throwing a tantrum. We are going to step aside, and we found you here with your white zaddies. We would let you hash it out with them. We're not going to tell them anything. We'll leave you guys alone. Deal with your white zaddies. Just step out of our way and because we're not on the same level. We are dealing with the white as partners. Okay, that's what we are doing. Okay, so if you need anything, from your massa, go to your massa and leave us the hell alone. Thank you.
What's the partnership?
Can I say my piece? Can I say my piece, please?
I gotta go.
Let Tunaja talk. He's been waiting, man. Let Tunaja talk.
I gotta go eat. I'll be listening. Thank you, Dinah, for having me.
Make sure she don't put eggs in your potato salad, brother.
See, I think from what was said about the British gang violence that goes on, and you have different groups attacking other groups, it's similar to what you have in America, where even Black Americans form sects. In the case of the UK, you have Jamaicans go after Somalis and people like that. So it's not necessarily inherent that the parents hate each other. We Africans get married to people from the Caribbean all the time. That said, I feel like there is this convoluted mess that has been created because of different strands of ideology and beliefs that is going on. You have people like Afrodamus come here and proclaim his support for Trump. That is clearly a white supremacist. That is madness. And then you have some people say, oh, we are not Africans, we are FBA and all the rest. Another set of madness again. And there's a lot of mess. It's almost as if we are designed to put ourselves at a disadvantage to other people. Can anybody tell me any relationship we've had with any other group that is non-Black that puts us at an advantage? We are so designed. We are so designed to put ourselves at a disadvantage, having convoluted ideology that doesn't make sense. All you have to worry about is whether it's good for you. The only reason why I support Trump to come into office is because it's going to open our eyes to the true nature of the world, because the Democrats hide it, especially from Africans. They don't see anything. All they see is people giving them AIDS and all the rest of it. When in reality, they are literally talking about recolonization. And we are here, somebody is coming here praising the guy that is talking about recolonization. Somebody that is bringing white South Africans to America while leaving blacks in Africa. You are telling FBA to go and meet their daddy. Trump is your daddy too, from that point of view. And it's a psychosis that I don't understand how our people can behave like this. Because white people don't behave like that. Arabs don't behave like that. Why do we do these things? Even on the continent itself, if you check the continent, if you look at the Niger-Congo group, the relationship that, when I say Niger-Congo group, I'm talking about like Black Americans, West Africans, South Africans, all those people. If you look at the relationship they have with other like people that are like, okay, North Africans, Somalis, we always put ourselves at a disadvantage all the time. I don't understand why we do that. It's like we're asking for our own extermination. You see some people here, they will praise American state as if the American state is doing anything for them. If American state is exploiting you and you are praising it, that is fatal. You are trying to destroy yourself. You have to question whether that state is supporting you or not. And if it's not, your job is to make it support you before you start supporting it. How can you support something that wants to destroy you? That is, I just feel like some of the conversations we are having is we are making it too convoluted. It's very simple. You have to put your interest first. This world is transactional. How can we say what transaction are we having with the societies and other groups that is benefiting us? Until we start ascertaining how our interaction with other groups is benefiting us, then we have a big problem. And somebody said earlier on that we need to actually aspire for power. Of course, that's what you have to aspire for. Even on the continent, we have a big problem. Look at Tinubu is working for Trump all the time. You look at West African countries, the Francophone countries are all working for France as they see fit. The game that they are playing, for the life of me, I don't know. It's like they are just waiting for us to be recolonized again. I just, when I hear the way we discuss, I despair. That's all I see. Thank you.
Brother Niger, somebody made an accusation that your kids, if I may, I mean, I get it, it's personal if you want to answer it or not, that your kids are half black. Am I correct?
I don't discuss personal issues. Anybody knows that.
And the reason why I say that, because if you're someone who doesn't want to be with the black community, but you want to talk to us, I have a concern with that. And that's why I support FBA, because if you don't want to procreate within the diaspora, then why do you want to talk to us within the diaspora? Again,
why are you in his personal business?
Why are you even making any assertions? You don't know
because someone made a comment to me. That's why.
No, she said someone make a comment to her.
You don't know me.
That's ridiculous.
You don't know me.
That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you.
I apologize. We're not asking you who you go to bed with.
Anything, they're just talking.
I go to bed with a black man.
I ain't gonna talk about your
we didn't ask you that, and we don't care.
Let's put it this way. I'm not gonna talk about your.
Nah, what that do matter though. I ain't gonna lie. You can't be on here talking about black quote unquote black power. You with crackers, man. Come on.
Same situation with that girl I told you about. Is the men who are supposed to enforce it say, hey,
no,
you have in the house, or you're gonna get married? What's the situation? And if the men in our community are not handling their situations with their significant other, then how do you guys expect to come to us and say, follow us? Again, Naja, I apologize for asking that question.
Fact. That's a
fact.
You
shouldn't have framed it directly towards him because that's conjecture.
I apologize, sir.
You right.
Making the situation worse. She just apologize. Leave her alone.
We're going to shut that down right now. We're not going to play this game that all black.
Just apologize.
Baby daddy, let's shut that down right now. This is for
me. Shut up.
Problem with our community.
No, hold on. Let Passport King speak.
Single without any biological children, and 33 to 36% of black men are legally married, and I'm talking black American men. So this myth of all black men are deadbeat baby daddies, we ain't gonna.
I never said that.
Who said that? Who said that, man?
No, but that's what's being applied. We're not gonna.
No, it's nothing. That's not being applied. She's talking about getting with white girls. She said nothing about nobody not raising their kids, bro. You listen. You're not actively listening to what she's saying.
Yeah, you're not listening.
You let some people smoke shit and come here, man.
All right, guys, let me read the super chat. We're closing out. Snooze Kicker, $5 holla. Y'all talking all this fake that you wouldn't have in the past, but that's the smoke for us in the physical when we meet. Really, all right, whatever. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, family. That is Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.
Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.